Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
I went to my first NFL game. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Are we on? Are we
yeah,
on?
we're up. We're up.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
The Jets versus the Cowboys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait.
In Dallas.
Yeah, Cowboys. That would just happen, right?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago or last week?
Last week.
The Jets.
Last Sunday.
Yeah, a week ago.
A week ago.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome. How many people does that place seat?
That one's probably close to 100.
It's
80
amazing.
plus for sure.
Yeah.
80 plus. That place is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I've never seen an NFL game live.
I'm so into football, man.
I get it now.
I'm so into it.
Bro, I get it. I'm friends with Aaron Rodgers, and I don't even watch football.
Yeah.
And Aaron was supposed to play, but then Aaron blew out his Achilles tendon real bad.
Yeah, first drive of the first game.
Crazy.
All this hype, like the craziest shit. All this
Crazy.
hype about Aaron Rodgers going to the Jets. And the crazy thing is, they had drafted like a year or two before that Zach Wilson, who was like a #1 draft pick. He was supposed to be the new quarterback that was going to take the Jets to the Super Bowl. But he's had a miserable last couple of years. And so instead of giving up on him, the Jets said, okay, let's bring in Aaron Rodgers, because Green Bay was moving on from Aaron Rodgers. They got this guy Love. Eventually, like all the legends, their last couple of years, they play on another team. Like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning. The last couple of years, they go to a different team. And
You gotta
sometimes,
get paid.
yeah, that's a lot of money.
I get it.
Yeah. And then the first drive, after all that hype with Aaron Rodgers in New York City, it was huge.
Yeah.
And then boom, he's gone for the season.
Yeah, he thinks he'll be back in 6 months. He said it's usually 6 to 12 months, but he said that's for vaccinated people.
But then
He's fucking around.
my Browns, I'm following the Browns every day in the offseason. Undrafted free agents, the fucking draft, everything.
Really?
It's practice
You're
squad.
all in, huh?
I'm all in. I love it.
Wow.
I love it. It's such an amazing sport. Like every player has their own mission. And the quarterback needs to know as many
Yeah.
of those missions as possible. He needs to know what's going on. But everyone else, they just need one mission. They got one mission. Every player, everybody's doing something different.
It's incredible to watch.
And then there's
live.
all these coaches.
Yeah.
I'm actually friends with. Do you remember there was a Sports Illustrated article on a football coach that was an offensive line coach that was teaching jiu-jitsu to NFL players to help them in the offensive line. That's Scott Peters from the Cleveland Browns.
Really?
Yeah, there was an article on it. And I remember reading it a couple years ago.
What would help with jiu-jitsu? Just being able to clinch? Understanding how to throw bodies around? I think
So.
wrestling.
Yeah.
Wrestling seems like
yeah.
it would help a lot.
Touch, feel, balance. But I'm not sure. I need to talk to him about that, because I just met him like via text through a friend. I had a guy on a podcast. He knows him. And apparently he played football too. His name is Scott Peters. And he, when he retired, he started doing MMA and started doing jiu-jitsu and fell in love with it. Then he got a job as he's an assistant offensive line coach for the Browns. And he's all about teaching them jiu-jitsu. That's pretty badass.
Well, I'd imagine those guys are all badasses. They want to learn jiu-jitsu. Who doesn't want to learn jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
Who's going, nah, I don't want to learn that shit.
A lot of people, actually.
They just don't want to get strangled.
Yeah.
They don't want to start out as beginners.
The same thing happened to the Browns, though. Second week, on paper, the Browns look like a playoff contender for sure, on paper. But everyone, it's all about how you execute and how it all gels. And so, but the one constant that we have the best running back in the game, Nick Chubb. Best running, so he rarely ever gets hurt. We needed some wide receivers. We needed some defensive linemen. We got all new defensive linemen except for Myles Garrett, and new defensive coordinator. But we always knew Nick Chubb. We got the best running back in the game probably ever. His average is 5.4 a carry. That's huge. That's like top 3 in NFL history. It's incredible. He's so good. Second week, Monday Night Football, his leg fucking breaks. So it was so gruesome.
Is that the one when it broke at the knee?
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh,
They didn't show the replays.
oh, I saw it online. They showed it online. Oh, my God,
Yeah.
it was horrible.
Yeah, that was devastating. I got sad. Like, it was like for 2 or 3 days, I was like, oh my God, I spent all this fucking time and now we just lost our best player. Fuck. But they came back the next week, which was yesterday, and dominated the Titans. So they
adjusted.
Yeah, and they're all doing it for Nick Chubb. They're all like,
I guarantee
motivated.
you that you know it used to be that if you got like an ACL injury, you were never coming back to any sport. And now MMA fighters get ACL injuries all the time, and they get rehab, and then they come back and they're good to go. I guarantee you, in the future, they're going to be able to regenerate tissue in some wild way where those injuries are just going to be commonplace. No big deal. They just fix you.
I hope so. Apparently, it looks like everything would have ripped, right? The PCL, the ACL, everything. But apparently they're saying it was just the MCL.
What?
And that it's not that bad.
Show that again.
Can we see that?
my God.
I wouldn't see it. They didn't show the replay,
Still
and
frame there.
I wouldn't even
There's
see
a
it.
still frame.
It's like his foot's pointed forward and his body's sideways, and the knee is bent. the wrong
Oh,
angle.
shit.
Oh my God.
That's the same knee he injured in college.
And look at him chilling.
No, that's him.
He was screaming after.
I'm sure, but right there, he looks pretty calm. I'd be fucking crying like a baby.
No, yeah, I think he's crying.
Oh, look at him right there. He's screaming. But the amount of pain he must have been in there. Agony.
Look at that shit.
But he also knew. He knew what was about to happen, too. Like, he just did this rehab a couple years ago.
Oh, no. So,
knee.
same knee?
See this one right here?
Oh, Jesus, that's him?
That's him in college.
Oh, my
ruined
God.
his
So it
college
was
career.
probably already weak.
Well, again, he's the baddest. He's
Oh, my
strong
God.
as fuck and can
Yeah.
deadlift
Oh,
a
my
million
God.
pounds and
Yeah,
Oh, my
he's
God.
in the NFL. He's known for his work ethic in the weight room. He's like, what does he squat? Something ridiculous, Jamie. It's like he always puts up videos where he's squatting like ridiculous shit.
675 here.
670 fucking 5.
Jesus Christ.
How much can you? What's your max?
I
Look
don't
at this, look at
max.
this, look at
Oh,
this.
my God.
Doesn't look very
That's him.
weak.
That's
Bro,
him.
I watched this guy who was doing that, and both his legs exploded. You know those Instagram clips? There's so many Instagram. Tom Segura and I, every day when I wake up in the morning to take a leak and I check my phone, Tom Segura is sending me some fucking horrible video. We share horrible videos to each other. It's like I'll show you the thread. We got an ongoing thread of me and him, just the worst shit we can find online. We send to each other, and every day I get nervous every time I open up my phone. It's all like, yeah, I sent him this one today. This guy's brakes failed. I sent you this, Jamie. This one's horrible. There's so many videos like that. Have you ever seen more people die than on Instagram lately?
What do you mean?
Are you
death?
Death.
Oh.
I've seen more people get shot, more people get run over by cars, more people get gored by bulls, more people get bit by alligators.
Yeah, I saw.
Look at this one. Brakes failed. Boom. Look at this. How insane is that, dude? Fuck.
That could happen at any time.
At
dude.
any time. I think about that all the time when I'm on the highway. You know, when I come home from the mothership, at nighttime in Texas, that's when all the truck drivers are on the road. And so when I come home, sometimes, like, we're the only car on the road. It's like all trucks. It's all semis. And one time there was some sort of a traffic thing. So the opposite side of the road, all the traffic was shut down, and it was hundreds of semis. Hundreds. I'm like, I guess they just drive at night. Like when there's going to be no traffic. That's when they can make the most time.
That makes sense.
It makes sense. But it's like one of those fucking dudes is not paying attention, or their fucking Adderall runs out or whatever. They fall asleep at the wheel, and you're done, man.
You know what video I just saw was a couple, male and female, like off to the side of the road on the freeway, and they're like, I don't know, they broke down, and this tire got loose and was coming and rolling down, and fucking went right into the chick. It was horrible, man. It was horrible, man. Have you seen that, Jamie? That one's
Tires
fucked up.
take people out, man. They take people out because they pop off sometimes. People don't check their fucking lug nuts.
Yeah.
Tire. Do you see that one lady who was driving on the highway? She was on pills, and the cops pulled her over, and she had no wheel. Her right passenger side front wheel was gone, and she's driving on the brake. So
Yes.
she's got her rotors, and it's just sparking. She's just like this. She doesn't even know anything's wrong. And the cops pull her over, and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, what? What's going on? And they're like, are you on pills? She's like, no, I'm not on pills. Like, she's clearly on pills. And you got to think, like, how many people you know how many people are on oxys, right?
Yeah.
How many people are just driving around on pills?
How are those still legal?
Incredible. Incredible. But meanwhile, marijuana isn't.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, mushrooms aren't.
Yeah, they're trying to get. I keep seeing that they're still trying to get weed on off Schedule 1.
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like it's close, right?
Yeah.
You would think that they would just make that happen already, because state after state after state is legalizing it, right? What's the state of weed in Texas?
Texas, it's decriminalized in Austin. It is illegal in Texas. Bro, they arrested Willie Nelson. That should be against the law.
And Tommy Chong.
Yeah, but Willie Nelson, Tommy Chong was a different one. Tommy Chong was a bad one because and I talked to Tommy after it happened. He did my podcast. This was a long time ago. They got him in Florida, and all he was doing was selling bongs. He was selling bongs, but if you sell bongs in Florida, it was drug paraphernalia, and so they threatened his family because it was a family business. So Tommy's like, I'll go to jail. So Tommy went to jail for them. And then afterwards, I think they drug tested him for a long time. I think part of the conditions of his parole was that they had to randomly drug test him, so he couldn't smoke any weed for a long fucking time. Now he's selling weed.
And how much time did he do? Did he do time?
He
went
did
to
time.
jail, right?
He did time. I think Tommy Chong, I want to say he did 2 years.
Damn.
Let's find out. Find out how much time did
For
Tommy
weed?
Chong. Not even for weed,
Yeah.
Eddie, for fucking bongs.
Yeah. That was just half baked. For weed.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that in 2023 it's still illegal. It's pretty wild.
It's pretty damn legal in California.
It should be.
It seems like you could just smoke weed anywhere.
Yeah, Vegas too.
Yeah.
That's what's wild. Vegas, bro, there's people in jail for life in Vegas.
Still.
In the 1970s, if they caught you smoking weed, they put you in jail forever. What does it say here? 9 months. 9 months in federal prison, a fine of $20,000, forfeiture of $103,514, and the loss of all merchandise seized during the raid on his business.
Fuck. Scary.
9 months for bongs.
And what year was that?
2004.
3 and 4, yeah.
Damn. 20 years ago.
Crazy. Yeah. Yeah, it's not right. It doesn't make any sense. And they got to know it now. It's like it's a slow trickle before things become legal. But I thought the Biden administration was a part of their thing that they ran on, that they were going to decriminalize marijuana.
Yeah, that's one Democratic issue that I'm with.
100%. 100%.
You know.
I'm with it. And, in other states, like I believe in Oregon, they've decriminalized mushrooms. What have they done with Oregon with mushrooms?
Yeah, I think
Oregon might have decriminalized everything. I think Oregon is a wild state. I think they might have decriminalized literally everything. I think they decriminalized steroids. I think they decriminalized mushrooms. I think they decriminalized fucking everything. Do you know in Vancouver, they have a place called the Drugs Store, and you can go in there and buy tested drugs. So you can go in there and buy tested cocaine. It's a brick and mortar store. And this guy is apparently testing the boundaries of the law. I mean, what a fuck. I would think that's a trap. If I was walking into that drugstore, I was like, you got cocaine? You have cocaine, pure cocaine for sale? I'd be
Yeah.
like, you wearing a wire, bitch? Like, what the fuck is going on? What are you doing? I'm going to buy cocaine from you in a store? Can I use my credit card? I can? Like, see if you can find that, the drugs store.
I think it might have been shut down because the owner died from a suspected fentanyl overdose.
Ah, whoops. He wasn't taking his own product.
It's the store was shut down 24 hours later.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they might have killed him.
But
I bet like some rival drug dealers are like, hey, man, fuck you. If he died from fentanyl, I don't think the government would have poisoned him with fentanyl.
Yeah, the fentanyl thing is crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah, how could anybody want to do coke knowing that shit's out there?
I think they have tests. But if you're one of those dudes who's partying, you're doing coke, You're not going, hey, you guys have a test?
This also wasn't like a real store. It was a pop-up shop. Like mobile, like almost a bus or something. But
I thought it was at a brick and mortar store.
it says after parking his 24-foot camper on Main Street between Hastings and Cordova, he made his first test. Yeah, I think he was doing it. I mean, it does show people walking in and out of a building, but it might have just been vacant. They just kind of walked in. I don't know.
You know what's crazy? I was just in Japan, and you don't ever have to worry about any kind of crime in Japan.
Isn't it wild? Japan's amazing.
There's no crime. But, you know, it is. That is definitely and it's so clean. They clean everything. Everybody's super nice. You know, everybody. But you can't have a gun.
Right.
Yeah, they got everybody under control. You know.
Yeah.
But I was there for Quintet. And Quintet is a team jiu-jitsu tournament. It's amazing. Sakuraba, the Pride legend, that's his show. But this time,
does he still grapple?
Yeah.
How's
he's on the
his
team.
knees?
He's got a team.
How's his knees?
I don't know.
Does he wrap them up like mummies?
He doesn't really speak English, so we have a hard time. He's awesome.
I fucking love him.
We just do like jokey stuff whenever I see him, because he's like a clown.
Yeah,
we
he's
do
so
clown
funny.
Stuff. Yeah, but so Quintet decided to co-promote with K1.
Ooh.
You didn't know this?
No.
Dude, you're a kickboxing fanatic, and you didn't know K1 brought back the heavyweight absolute tournament?
I heard they were doing that, but I didn't know they did it.
They brought it back. And guess who they wanted to commentate?
You?
I'm like, why would I commentate a kickbox?
That's like me commentating on football.
Exactly. Same thing. And they asked me because they co-promoted, and it was like in this arena where they had two stages, the K1 stage and the Quintet stage, and they kind of merged together. And K1 was during the day. It started like at noon. And then after K1 was done, then it all shifted over here on the side and to the Quintet side. That started like at 6 or something. But they asked me if I wanted to commentate the heavyweight tournament. I'm like, I know nothing about. The only thing I know about kickboxing is the old school K1, like Peter Ertz. I met him. He was there.
Jerome LeBanner.
Yeah.
Ernesto Hoost.
Yeah, Ray Sifu and all those guys, and Semi Schilt.
Yeah.
The old school K1, the classic ones where dudes were getting shut off left and right.
Left and right.
And this one was, because apparently they hadn't done the absolute heavyweight tournament, the 8-man one, in a while. They've been sticking to K1 max, like lightweights and middleweights, and there's some bad motherfuckers. So I don't pay attention to kickboxing at all, so I wouldn't even know what K1 max was. I learned all the shit while I was there. And so they had an 8-man absolute tournament, all new guys. And dude, there was this fucking 6'8" Chinese dude, straight coming out with the CCP flag and everything, looking like Chinese Ivan Drago.
What does he look like? I mean, what's his name?
He fucked everybody up.
Really?
He fucked everybody.
Pull up a video.
Dude, his name is like Say Lu, something like that.
We'll find out.
Scary.
Not this guy.
That's
right?
him.
Oh, it is.
That's him right there.
Damn, that guy's huge.
He's like 6'7", 6'8".
Wow.
He fucked everybody up.
Oh my God,
dude.
Look at the size of that guy.
With leg kicks. He got incredible footwork.
Look at the size of his fucking legs. Look at his quads.
Dude, he claims wushu.
Oh, of course.
But it's kickboxing. He's doing kickboxing.
But that's a good move if you're from China. Claim wushu.
Yeah. And he didn't show up to the press conference. He was a big mystery.
Oh, interesting.
And there was a guy from Italy, this guy, they call him the Grizzly Bear. He ended up fighting him in the finals. That guy, the Grizzly Bear, had like insane power. Dude, he was fucking people up.
Is this
Dude,
the
look at that's the
Grizzly
Grizzly Bear? The Grizzly Bear's got the beard.
See if you can find a video of the actual fight, Jamie. Okay. I love it. I put a post up on Instagram the other day after the Rod Tank fight on ONE FC because Matt Brown posted it, like, how is Muay Thai not the biggest sport in the world? And you watch this insane fight they had on ONE FC. And I was like, I think that has the most untapped potential of all the combat sports. Because obviously, boxing is huge. MMA is huge. How the fuck is Muay Thai not huge?
Yeah.
It's so exciting.
Yeah.
And this one fight.
With MMA gloves, too.
With 4-ounce gloves. Jamie, see if you could find that fight first.
Hold on, what was it?
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
It's on my Instagram. It's like 3 posts ago. And it's this war that these guys had in Thailand. So they did a 1FC in Thailand. And they had, here, I'll fucking, you got it here? I mean, so it's Rod Tang versus Superlek. And it's a fucking war, dude. I mean, these guys are going. Give me some volume so you can hear
It just happened?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, these are two of the very best Muay Thai fighters in the world, and they're fighting with these little tiny MMA gloves on, which is a wild move that 1FC is doing. I mean, everybody who watches MMA, look at that, drops Rod Tang. That's crazy. Incredible fight, dude. Just fucking incredible fight. These guys are cutting each other up with elbows, knees to the body. And they're two elite of the elite in Muay Thai. And they're going to war with the little gloves on, man. I mean, it's a fucking wild-ass fight. Like, look, everybody loves stand-up. When you're watching MMA, sometimes when people clinch, people go, oh. They want to see the crazy wars. These are the crazy wars all the time. That's the whole fight is crazy wars. Like, how is that not big? I brought it up with Dana. And I said, dude, I know you guys are into the slap fight thing, but I think, like, the thing that's untapped is kickboxing. And he was like, but nobody liked that PK karate. I'm like, bro, that was in the 1980s. That was literally, they used to call it the kick of the 80s. Remember?
Yeah. But
Bad Brad Hepton and...
It just needs to be marketed different because there's always been kickboxing. We've always had kickboxing. We had Glory, we had K1 forever.
But it didn't ever reach the heights that it was capable of reaching. It could have with Glory. Glory was very, very high level. And they tried
how
it for
could
a
they
while.
do it? How could they do it to take it to the next level?
The UFC machine. Put the UFC machine behind it. If they put the UFC promotion machine behind high-level kickboxing and got just fucking, hey, we're going to sign the biggest fighters in the world. We're going to have UFC kickboxing. So here's this gigantic Chinese guy.
This is the final against the grizzly bear.
Look at the size of that grizzly. Oh, look at that. He's fucking his legs up. And this guy's 6'8".
Yeah.
Oh, he's good, man. Oh, chopping those legs down.
I think he beat all 3 opponents with leg kicks. They couldn't take it.
Damn.
So they're trying to reboot it and start a whole new
Beautiful.
absolute K1. The
How do you say his name?
I forget.
Liuce.
Luce.
Luce?
Yeah. Luce. I'm pretty sure. But what really, dude, I was so entertained. I was so into it, and I didn't know any of these guys. You know what did it for me was the tournament. It's the tournament. First round, I didn't know any of these guys. That second round, though, I was like, I know these guys. Shit, that guy's gonna fight that guy. And then the final, boom, like, oh shit, Grizzly Bear. I was so into it. I was commentating with Michael Chavello. That guy's insane.
I love him.
He's so good. And when I say insane, I mean he's insane good.
The big kibosh.
Dude, he's so good. He is an encyclopedia of boxing
of
and
Muay Thai
MMA.
and
And
MMA.
MMA.
Yeah.
He knows fucking everything.
Everything.
Dude, I was so impressed with him.
He used to be the guy for 1FC. I don't know what happened. It fell apart. He left 1FC.
Sometimes things happen.
Yeah, sometimes things happen, but he's a fucking man.
Yeah, he's so good, man. And that tournament.
He's a good dude, too.
Man, it got me into it. Like, I'll watch the next one. As long as it's in tournament form, that's the key, man. That's what got everybody into the UFC is the tournaments. And
The UFC should hire Michael Chavello and do a fucking a Muay Thai card. Dana, I'll commentate. You heard me. I'll fucking commentate it. Let's go.
Is Dana a fan of kickboxing, though? Does he follow it?
Dana's a fan of whatever works. He's a fan of fights. He just thinks that for whatever reason, the kickboxing never caught on in America. And I think it's because of that PKA karate shit that they have in the 1980s. But dudes were wearing fucking long pants. They couldn't kick the legs. It's a different sport, man. And there were some great fighters that came out of that. Guys like Rick Rufus. But it's a different sport. If you look at the fights on 1FC and you look at the fights in, like the classic K1 fights, like, my God, how is that not exciting? It's so exciting. And if they have a fight with the little gloves on, like K1 does or like a 1FC does, if Dana decided to get behind that, God, it would be huge. Muay Thai, UFC Muay Thai.
Now,
Fuck yeah. Dana,
Do you
I'll
think-
commentate.
do you think?
Let's go. I'll promote it.
Do you think tournaments are still possible? I mean, tournaments because tournaments aren't possible in MMA because they say it's too brutal. But kickboxing is way more brutal.
Well, you remember
It's
when we
way
went to
more.
see Joe Schilling fight in L.A.?
Yes.
Last Man Standing, that
Yeah.
glory. I think Joe fought 3 times that night.
Yeah.
Which is crazy for a kickboxing fight.
Yeah.
He fought Artem Levin. Who else did he fight? He fought, God, I don't remember who he fought. I don't remember everybody he fought that night. But goddamn, that was a war. That was crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. I remember meeting Gene Simmons there.
Oh, yeah.
And the first time I met him, I embarrassed myself.
You told that story.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna be cool this time.
He
but-
probably didn't remember. Luckily,
No,
that guy's met
no.
a billion people.
Oh, dude, come on, man.
You want a little cigar?
Sure.
Ron White gives me these. They're little baby cigars.
I'm not a big cigar guy, but
They're basically like a cigarette. It's
you
just
don't-
like
you don't
pure
inhale,
tobacco.
right?
No, you just puff on it. Just take a little puff.
What do you think
Give
of?
it a little nicotine
What do you
puff.
think of bare knuckle?
I love it. I love what Jorge Masvidal's doing. The bare knuckle MMA
MMA?
fights.
Yeah.
I love it. Because that's what I think MMA should have been all along.
Yeah.
Why can you have bare elbows? Why can you have bare knees, bare shins? A shin to the face
Yeah.
is okay,
Yeah.
but you have to protect your knuckles. The only thing that does is prevent cuts. And one thing it also does is protect your hands, because you can't really go off like you can with bare knuckle guys are more they're more cautious about where they hit.
Yeah.
They're more precise. They have to be more precise. They break their hands.
I think on paper, bare knuckle is way better than like traditional boxing. You know, can you imagine? I mean, if you did a poll and you asked what would you rather watch? Floyd Mayweather versus Pacquiao 4 or whatever it is, bare knuckle or regular boxing? I bet most people would say bare knuckle.
Well, a lot of people that go over to bare knuckle are surprised at like how little protection you have and how much it hurts. Like that's where Mike Perry fucking shines.
How's he doing right now?
Killing it.
He's killing it?
Killing it. Fucked
Yeah.
up Luke Rockhold in his last fight, made him quit, knocked his teeth out. Luke's like, enough.
Dude.
He's fucking everybody up because he's such an animal. Like if you're tough, and there's not a tougher human being alive than Mike Perry. He's like uniquely suited for bare knuckle fighting because he's just such a fucking savage. He's willing to kill or be killed, like legitimately. He's not no fear. He goes in there, kill or be killed, and he's good, man. He knows how to fight bare knuckle. He's clever.
Who do you think that's currently in the UFC is probably going to end up doing great in bare knuckle?
That's a good question. Chris Camozzi just fought. He just fought that dude, the Juggernaut, who's the, I believe, the middleweight champion in bare knuckle FC, and the Juggernaut beat him. The thing about it is, man, it's different. It's just different. When you're just getting knuckles in your eyeballs and knuckles in your face, it fucking hurts more. It's more dangerous.
Yeah, it cuts you up way more.
You're losing teeth. You get hit with a knuckle right here, that tooth's gone, son.
Even with like the highest level mouth guards?
It helps a little, but really you'd probably need a crazy thick mouth guard. You probably need something different. But even then, it's knuckles. You're getting that bone of a bony-ass knuckle, and it's going right here. It's going to fuck your teeth up, man.
Now, K1, they don't allow you to do the plum clinch and hold their head and throw multiple knees. You could only hold it like real quick.
Right.
What do you think about that?
I don't think that's the way to go. I think elbows.
One, they allow them to hold the clinch longer?
Yeah, one is Muay Thai. Like that fight, that was Muay Thai. They can clinch, they can elbow. I want them to be able to use everything.
Yeah.
All the tools,
Yeah,
all the weapons.
Yeah, why not?
And let them do it with those little gloves too.
Yeah.
You know, because the big gloves, the thing about the big gloves is you can offer a shield. Like if you ever watch Badr Hari fight, he fights like this. So it's
Yeah.
a shield, right? You have this big 10-ounce glove. It covers, it's cushioned, and you're fighting like this. Like in Alistair, when
Yeah.
Alistair was fighting in K1, they all fought like this. But you can't do that with those little gloves because the little gloves sneak around. And you can't do that even more so with bare knuckle because bare knuckle really sneaks around. There's no protection.
It'll just slide off the fist right into your face.
Exactly. And Mike Perry has developed a style where he holds his hands like real rigid like this.
Yeah.
It's different. Like he's adapted to bare knuckle, and he also has had several fights, so he knows what to expect. So if you're Luke Rockhold and you're fighting Mike Perry, this is your first bare knuckle fight. You never fought bare knuckle because you certainly aren't fucking training bare knuckle. Like you can train MMA with MMA gloves on, right? You can't really train bare knuckle, right? You got to wear gloves. So that first experience of getting a knuckle in your eyeball and a knuckle on your nose where your nose gets just fucking splattered all over your face, it's a different experience.
Yeah, man. There's so many different sports now, fighting sports, you know. There's so many. There's bare knuckle, regular boxing, even regular collegiate wrestling is getting bigger. You know, that's getting bigger.
Yeah.
People are starting to. I'm watching. I never really watched wrestling, but now I'm watching. I didn't realize, and I wrestled a couple years, and I didn't realize how fucking how much it evolved. There's so much shit in wrestling, dude. There's so much shit.
It's like everything else.
Yeah,
It's like everything else. All these combat sports evolve.
Yeah, there's just so many different ways two bodies that are clinched up and mangled up can go and do. It's so crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
And they're so technical now. Guys are so good.
well, you know my favorite shit, combat jiu-jitsu, man. I'm not promoting combat jiu-jitsu because someone has a gun to my head. You know what I mean? I'm trying to create or just take what has worked. Like the 16-man tournament, that's the best shit. 16-man tournament, that was UFC too. 16-man, that's why everybody got hooked to the UFC.
In combat jiu-jitsu, it's great.
Because the 16-man tournament is a super fight factory. It just makes the super. It's just like,
Right.
and you don't have to know any of the fighters.
Right.
Nobody knew anybody from the UFC.
Right.
UFC 2, I didn't know anybody. There was a boxer, a kung fu guy.
You see him win the first round,
And then,
you go, you're excited.
You
now.
just got to pay attention to the first round and accept that you don't know these guys, and know that by the time you get to the finals, you're going to know these guys very well.
Could you imagine if somebody brought the UFC back, old school, like bare knuckle, old school? You could wear a gi, do whatever the fuck you want.
16-man tournament.
16-man tournament, no weight classes.
Remember the Russian one that was 32-man?
No,
Dude, there was a Russian one, and Igor Vovchanchin won that one.
of course he did.
Remember that shit?
I love that guy.
And he fought that huge Brazilian. They called him Ricardo Morai.
Ricardo Moraes. He
Remember
was,
that guy? He's like
Carlson Gracie's guy.
Yeah, he's like 6'8".
Giant.
And he got to the finals against Igor Vovchanchin. And to be honest, maybe the Brazilian one. And it's hard to.
I don't remember.
Or you know what? It wasn't Igor Vovchanchin. It was a guy named Mikhail something. God damn it! It was so long ago. It was like
Igor Vovchanchin looked like he was supposed to be like 6'6", but they cut his arms off here.
Yeah.
And put a fist there.
Yeah.
Like his forearms was so thick. Remember how thick that dude was?
Yeah.
He was so thick, and he
Yeah.
would fuck people up.
His legs, oak tree legs.
Who was that Brazilian guy that he knocked out cold?
Francisco Bueno.
Yeah.
Dude, that's probably still up there. Francisco
Find
Bueno.
that.
Igor-
Igor Vovchanchin versus Francisco Bueno.
Yeah.
It was ruthless. Igor was a monster.
And what Igor had, he was a kickboxer with power in his hands. He was vicious.
He was like 5'11" and 5'11" wide.
And the one, everybody wanted to take him to the ground. Everybody.
5'8".
5'8"?
Yeah, 5'8", yeah. Everybody wanted to
Jesus
take
Christ.
him. Everybody wanted to take him to the ground. Nobody wanted to stand with him.
No.
But the thing that Igor had was he didn't really have a wide array of offensive techniques with jiu-jitsu, but he did have a good guard recovery, and he keeps you in full guard and survives. Look at that. Boom.
Oh, my God. Show that again. Boom. Boom, boom. He hit him 3 times while he was out cold. Left hook, right hand on the chin, and then as he's going down, bang, bang.
Dude.
Oh, my God.
Dude. Face planted.
Is this Igor when he was younger? Oh, my God.
I
Bare
think
knuckle.
that's the tournament. This is the one I'm talking about, I think.
Wow. That's how they should do it.
No cage.
Back up.
See
Back
that?
up.
No
See how they
cage.
did that? That is my fucking dream. That's what they should do, man. That is how they should have MMA.
That's how we do combat jiu-jitsu. We don't do it in the cage.
That's how they should have MMA.
And you know that karate combat? I like that too. It's kind of
Yeah,
like, you know,
a
no
little
one
sloped.
wants to back up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because they fall.
Right. Igor Vovchanchyn was a man.
And the thing about Igor Vovchanchyn is check this out. This was all like in the 2000 area. I'm a purple belt, and I'm commentating for King of the Cage, right? And
that was when you get soccer kicked to the head too, in Pride days.
Yeah, and
Boom.
And I commentated Pride 10 and 11, and I got to meet Mark Kerr, right? Mark Kerr, incredible. I mean, his story's incredible. He wrestled in college at a high level. He was a specimen. He looked a little like fucking Myles Garrett. Mark Kerr, that was his nickname, the Specimen, and the Smashing Machine.
Right.
Remember his story?
Oh yeah, man.
That story was.
I had Kurt Angle on the podcast the other day,
Yeah.
and Kurt was talking about how good Mark Kerr was as a wrestler.
Hell yeah. And Mark Kerr told me, because I got to hang out with him at Pride 10, and we were hanging out at McDonald's, and we were just fucking shooting the shit. And he told me his whole story. Like wrestlers were telling him to do the UFC back like in the late 90s. And he go, dude, look at Mark Coleman. Wrestlers go in there and they just fuck everybody up. You should do it. You should do it. They were trying to talk him into it. I was like, dude, I'm not a fighter like that. And he just didn't have that
Meanness.
violence. Yeah, he was
He was
super nice
so
guy.
nice.
Super nice guy. And they twisted his arm and he was going to do a UFC and then he backed out. He was like, he said, he goes, dude, it's just too frightening. So then he got offered to do an 8-man tournament in Brazil in the middle of nowhere before the internet or anything. So he said, you know what? I'm going to go try this thing in Brazil, and if I get fucked up, nobody's going to know about it, and I'll just dip out. You know what I mean? And so he went down there and fucking destroyed. He ended up in the finals. It was bare knuckle, Vale Tudo, MMA, old school, in a ring, no cage. And in the finals, he fought Fabio Gurgel. Was it Fabio Gurgel? It was Fabio Gurgel. It was I'm pretty sure it was him. And dude, he was just in his guard the whole time. Never tried to pass. He was just in his guard in the corner and just headbutting and throwing fucking bare knuckles. And he won. And the Brazilians just thought he was a monster. They called him like the Smashing Machine in Portuguese, which is like Máquina Destroy or something like that. I don't know what it but anyways, so he said, he goes, after the fight, my hands are all cut up. They're all fucked up. They got infected. He said he was in the hospital. He got those.
You get teeth in your hands.
Yeah, he got all fucked up. He was in the hospital with like some kind of fucking sickness and shit. And then the promoter taxed him way more than he thought. He was like, I'll never do this again. This was the worst fucking experience of my life. Even though he won, it was the worst experience of his life. He don't ever want to do it. He was in the hospital. They fucked him on cash and all that shit. But then when he got back and on the internet was just, you'd have like little fucking news pages. And then he saw the magazine of him on the cover of a magazine. He's looking like a destroyer.
Yeah.
Brazilian magazine. And then that's what got him to jump in 100%.
Do you remember when he tapped Dan Bobish with a chin to the eye socket?
That was in the UFC? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He got a hold of him. He got in side control. We played it the other day. He stuck his chin in Dan. You know he had that big ass chin.
Yeah.
He stuck his chin in Dan Bobish's eye socket and just fucking yanked his back of his head into his fucking eye socket. Ah! And he tapped him with that. I'm like, how come no one's done that since? That's a pretty wild move.
And I was telling him, and this is what I tell all high-level wrestlers, even like low-level wrestlers. If you're a wrestler, you need to approach grappling not in the sense where you want to beat jiu-jitsu. Like, these guys can't take me down. You know, jiu-jitsu guys can't take me down. I'll outbox them. They can't box. I'm like, okay. But what about the guys that can box? Like kickboxers, you're going to have to take them down, right? Like when you fight a kickboxer, you're going to have to take him down. You're going to have to learn how to pass the guard. And I would tell him, dude, just get really good at passing the guard, holding side control, submissions from side control, mount, have a death mount. You need a death mount. arm bars, rear naked chokes. Just you got to get good at passing the guard, Mark. And he said, dude, it just takes too much energy, man. It takes too. I'd rather just sit in the guard and just fucking pound. I'm like, there's going to be guys that are going to tie you up, and you're not going to be able to ground and pound. You can't ground and pound everybody. Some people you can, but some guys have a good defensive guard. And a lot of wrestlers would say that too. It wasn't just Mark Kerr. They didn't want to pass the guard. They wanted to beat jiu-jitsu. I'll just stay in the guard. And
So Coleman always did.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
headbutted dudes, punched him in the head, in the guard.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then he fights Igor Vovchanchin.
Yeah.
He takes Igor Vovchanchin a couple times, 2, 3, maybe 4 times during that fight. But he can't pass his guard. And Igor Vovchanchin has a great chin. He's a kickboxer, so little ground and pound strikes aren't going to affect him that much. He's not going to freak out. And he had a really good close guard, and he would hold and he would tie up, and then they would stand him up. And now he got to take him down again. This is in Brazil. This is Mark Kerr in Brazil right here.
Wow.
The Valetudo Championship final.
This is the final. Is that Fabio Gurgel? Who was Marcelo Garcia's instructor?
Let's see.
I'll show you when he stands up, but it looks like they stay like this for the whole time.
Interesting. That's back when Pedro Hizzo. Yeah, that's Fabio. That's when Pedro Hizzo was fighting too.
And remember the Pedro too?
Yeah. Do you remember when Gary Goodrich reached into the Pedro shorts and grabbed his balls and crushed him?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can grab balls.
Can you find Igor Vovchanchin, Mark Kerr from Pride? And you'll see that he was able to take down Igor Vovchanchin relatively easy, but he couldn't pass his guard and he couldn't finish him.
And he had to stand up with him.
And then eventually, after a couple stand-ups, he was tired and he couldn't take him down no more. And then, strikers light up. They smell blood, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I think it was TKO. I'm not too sure what kind of strike it was that ended the fight, but it was a flurry. And that right there just shows, like, man, all the best grapplers, not all of them, but a large percentage of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the U.S. are wrestlers that fell in love with jiu-jitsu and got really good at guard passing, taking backs, mounting.
Igor had fucking hammers for fists.
Yeah, there was no way he wanted to stand with Igor.
No.
He did throw down a little bit.
Yeah. That little short right hand.
And then, boom, he knocks him down here. Bam.
Yeah, I remember he hit him with like a big overhand right and knocked him down.
See, he keeps taking him down, but he can't finish him. He can't.
Right.
He's not
Igor's
even
just tying him up.
Yeah, he's not attempting to pass his guard. He basically didn't like passing guard. He didn't want to develop any guard passing skills. He liked just staying in guards and throwing down. But look at how Igor just wraps him up. And not only does he have a good guard and he's wrapping him up, but like I said, he's a kickboxer. He's used to taking punishment.
Right.
Like if he had like a wrestler like this or a jiu-jitsu guy, they're not. I mean, he did cut him up, but they're not gonna.
But he's also tired. This was during the Smashing Machine, and so this was when Mark was already going through his addictions too, man.
Damn, battle right here.
Another
Let's see how it
back
ends.
stand. Oh, he hit him with that
big
right
right hand.
hand.
Big right hand. This is such a brutal fight. Ooh.
There it is.
Look at his traps, dude. God
He was so huge.
damn.
I talked to Ensign about fighting Igor, and he said it was like getting hit by a car. He goes it's like getting hit by a car over and over and over again. He goes, it was just boom, boom. This was back in the 10-minute round days, which I loved. I loved the 10-minute first round. I think the 10-minute first round was a genius idea because how many guys, they just fucking, look at Marcus trying some sort of an ankle lock.
Dude, he almost had an Aoki right there.
But it's like, how many guys would take a guy down at 4 minutes and 20 seconds and then the round was over?
Can we see how it ended? Yeah, sure. The last flurry.
So many guys would, in the UFC, you'd take a guy down in the first round and, you got no time to work. And you work so hard to get him to the ground and then the next round starts and you're standing up.
Yep. That happens a lot too.
What do you think about the idea of having he hit him with the knee to the head on the ground. Look at that knee. Look at the sprawl and that knee.
Boom.
That's a serious fucking knee right there. What do you think about the idea of starting every round in the same position where you ended the last round.
I'm not opposed to that.
I'm not opposed to that at all. Like, I feel like you should earn your ability to stand up. That was it.
Oh, that was it right
That was
there.
it.
Can you rewind that one real quick? Let's see the final shots.
His knees to the ground. Knees on the ground. That's another thing that I believe in. I don't think you
Oh,
should
yeah,
be able
he's
to turtle.
done.
I don't think you should be able to turtle.
Yeah.
And not get kneed in the head.
Yeah.
Because that's a legitimate technique. If you can knee a guy standing up, why can't you knee a guy to the head on the ground?
Totally.
Especially if he's in the turtle. If he's like just hanging on to something, you're hanging on to one knee, you got a knee free, and his head's right there. But that guy can take you down and beat the fuck out of you. Why can't you knee him in the head?
Can you do that in game bread? Do you know?
I don't think so. I think it's unified rules. It's just bare knuckle. I believe
That's not unified rules though. That sounds like they would just. I mean,
bare knuckle, right?
Yeah, that's like.
Seems like there was a controversy of some kind after because he was complaining in the hallway, and then they're showing some. I don't know what they're saying in the video, obviously, but
Yeah, he got hit in like the back
What,
of the head or
top
something.
of the head?
I'm not sure.
Is that not legal? Did they have like what
I
is
had
the
a hearing
controversy?
about it. It looks like
Interesting.
I could go closed caption and read it, but this is other parts of the thing, I think.
And then how about Mark Coleman in the heavyweight Grand Prix? I think he fought Igor Vovchanchin in the final,
Did he?
and I think he
He fucked him up with knees.
from north south.
Yes.
I think Mark Coleman, Igor Vovchanchin, that was in the
I
finals
think you're right.
of the Grand Prix.
And now I remember he won the Grand Prix, right?
Mark Coleman did.
Yeah.
He was a champ.
Yeah. I think the knees to the ground, it's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. If you can knee a guy standing up, if you can punch a guy in the face and kick a guy in the face, why can't you knee to the head? You can knee to the body, but you can't knee to the head? It would end so many more fights. So many more fights. How many times have the guy sprawls and the guy's in a turtle and it's a perfect position to throw the knee to the head, but you can't do it?
Yeah.
I think that should be legal. You know they're going to bring back 12 to 6 elbows.
From where?
From standing in the guard, anywhere. 12 to 6 elbows illegal still, which is the dumbest thing in the world.
Are illegal
Did I say legal? Illegal.
in the mount. Like if I'm mounted, you
right.
can't go like this.
Can't go 12-6,
Yeah.
which doesn't make any sense.
But from full guard, you can. If
You
I was on my back in
can
full guard,
because
you
it's
can.
going 6-12.
Yes.
Which is the dumbest shit of all
Yes,
time.
yes.
But standing, you can't do it. So like if you and I are standing and you rush at me and do that and hit me with a 12 to 6 elbow, that's illegal.
And they're going to change that?
They're going to change that.
Who's behind that?
Nowitzki talked to me about it.
And
He said, I know that this is something that you complain about all the time. And we think we're going to be able to get rid of that. I'm like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest one. Because it's not even a more powerful elbow.
Yeah.
It's just they saw it all came from Big John McCarthy told me this, that in the early days of MMA, they would bring this to the athletic commissions and they said, you can't do this because we've seen those karate tournaments where the guys break bricks like that.
And
You can't-
ice.
And ice. They're like, you can't break bricks. Like you could kill somebody if you do that. So they go, okay, no elbow like that. Elbow has to come at an angle. So it can come from, it can't come from 12 to 6, but it can go 1 to 7. Which is the dumbest shit of all time.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the hardest elbow is not that. The hardest elbow is this one. This is the hardest elbow, in my opinion. I believe. I mean, at least as far as I can throw it,
Because you're throwing it like
like a punch.
Yeah.
And I'm getting my weight into it. If I'm in a ground and pound position, like I've done ground and pound work on when you get a heavyweight down, a heavy bag down rather, and I'm trying to see like what I can hit the hardest with. You can hit hard like that, but I can hit way harder like that. Fucking boom! You could just it's so much more torque. You got all this snap, and it's also a natural movement where your body has developed that sort of explosiveness doing that. It does it all the time. This is unnatural, I think. I mean, you could develop it, but it's just a better option to have. You want to be able to have that option to throw that, because if guys are doing this and you can go straight down the middle with an elbow, fucking you should be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I like what Chatri's doing with one. They're allowing, knees on the ground. Gotta allow that. I mean,
Yeah, they
just
allow
like-
soccer kicks.
I think there was. I'm not sure. I think maybe they you can't stomp on their head anymore. I think if you're in a cage and the back of your head is.
This is from 2021 when they made rules.
Okay. Grounded. Athletes are considered grounded when they have any weight bearing part of their body other than the sole. What is this from? What rules?
This is when Colorado approved new rules for one
Colorado
championship.
for one. Okay, this is just for Colorado though. All hand strikes, including punches, forearms, and elbows to the head, body, and all elbows. Interesting. So that means Colorado said 12 to 6 elbows legal?
So that's where I got this from. There was an article from this year that said when they were doing the data review for finding out if they were going to allow knees to the head of a grounded opponent, the 12 to 6 elbow data was in there.
Look, it says kneeing to the head of a grounded opponent is legal. This is Colorado? Wow. Why can't the UFC do that? Go back to that, please.
Okay.
I want to see what else it says. Up kicks to the body and legs to a grounded opponent are legal. Huh?
How could
But
you?
you can't up kick to the head. Up kick to the head, body, and legs of a non-grounded opponent are legal. Okay. So you still can't up kick to a grounded opponent, which means
But that second to the last one, it says up kicks to the body and legs to a ground. How are you going to up kick a grounded opponent?
to the body and the head. To
No,
the body
but,
and the head.
but up kicks to the body and legs to a grounded opponent are legal. Like, how do you
Yeah.
up kick a grounded opponent? He's not
if you're on
standing.
your back, and the guy's on top of you and he's got his knees on the ground, he's grounded, but you can
Okay.
up kick him in the chest.
Oh, okay.
You can up kick him in the chest, so the body and the legs. But up kicks to the head, body, and legs of a non-grounded opponent.
they're
are legal.
standing. If
Right.
they're
So
standing.
if they're standing. So if he's not grounded, he's standing, you can up kick him in the face. I feel like you should be able to up kick a guy to the face if he's on the ground too.
Remember that up kick Oleg Taktarov again? And
Renzo Gracie.
Renzo Gracie.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That one, that was probably the first one
Probably.
that we saw
Probably, yeah.
in a big fight.
Yeah.
And there was people thinking like, oh, lucky kick. But then Renzo was saying, no, dude, we practice this
Yeah.
shit, dog. We practice this. And then you saw, was it Fabio Gurgel up kick Jerry Bolander? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, guys who are really good kickers, if you get them on their back, they can fuck you up off their back.
This is weird. Pouring water is illegal?
Yeah, because they don't want you to become slippery. The cut man will apply Vaseline to the facial area. The problem with that is, once you get Vaseline on a face, that Vaseline is
everywhere.
fucking everywhere.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's on the neck.
You don't
the
need
chest.
Vaseline. That's some old boxing shit that needs to be cut out.
I believe you're right.
Yeah, it's totally
I believe you're
unnecessary.
right.
Like
yeah.
that's just some boxing bullshit that it's probably good for boxing, I guess, but for MMA, that Vaseline gets
in the way of
everywhere.
grappling.
It gets everywhere.
Yeah, it gets everywhere.
And as a promoter or producer or someone who owns a fight show, you want as many finishes as possible, whether they're knockouts or submissions. So you'd want to, like, that's why in combat jiu-jitsu we make rash guards mandatory. Like, you got to wear rash guards. We don't want two greasy bodies all over
Beautiful.
the place.
I like that.
Wear rash guards.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
like that.
We should
Because
make you wear
cuts that cuts out greasing. Like
Yes.
the complaint that Gordon Ryan had against Nicky Rod.
Yeah.
And then, Felipe Pena said the same thing. He's like, he's greased.
Yeah.
It's like, feel him.
Yeah, you make it's mandatory. You got to wear a rash guard. I mean, ultimately, probably make it. We haven't done it yet, but like ultimately, if there's a problem with greasing legs and stuff like that,
I feel like
we'll probably
greasing
make
like
it
spats.
like what you have to wear spats.
I think spats and rash guards. Yeah.
Just eliminate the greasing.
Eliminate it.
Because other than that, if you tested for greasing, like that would be so expensive. You'd have
And
to.
how could you?
The only way you could do it is like you have as you walk in, they swab your back.
But the problem is that's not even going to work. Because you know what guys do? They take a bath in mineral oil. So that's what Vanderlei used to do apparently.
Old school shit. Yeah.
They take a bath in mineral oil and then they dry off. So if you touch them, they're dry. But then once they start sweating, that oil comes out of the pores. And then they're like, whoop.
Yeah.
It's like trying to grab a hold of a salmon.
So that could only do so much. But if when they walk in the cage, they should be warmed up. So they should be sweating. So you might be able to maybe take like a big glove that is made out of like swab material and just go like down the back like that and then test it.
You know what it would
but
be
that
like?
would be expensive as shit.
Maybe. You know what it'd be like? Like, you know how like that, I don't even know if this is real, but you know how when people pee in the pool and they have something that shows the pee and you
Totally.
can see it all
Yeah.
blue? Is that real?
Oh, that's way real.
Is it?
Hell yeah, that's old shit.
I thought that was just
I
like
just read
some
about
shit
it, too.
from
I thought
movies.
It was a rumor to fuck with kids.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's real.
No,
Find out if it's real.
What would
no.
it be called? What do you think it'd be called?
There's some chemical in the.
Is there a chemical you could put to show when you're peeing in a pool? Because there was a video that I saw that looked really fake. It was a bunch of girls that were in a pool together, and then one girl, like you see all this pee coming out, like this blue stuff. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, you dirty bitch!" And like they run away from her because she's peeing in the pool.
Yeah, no, that's real.
That's for abuse. I don't know if it's real.
No, it's real. I've heard about that. You put a chemical in the pool, and when you pee, it turns blue.
Urine indicator dye is a mythical substance that
What?
is supposed to be able to react with urine to form a colored cloud in a swimming pool or hot tub.
It's
thus
mythical.
indicating the location of people who are urinating.
Oh my god, I thought it was real.
I did too.
Let me
Up
hit that
until
lighter.
about a couple weeks ago.
I thought it was like it doesn't seem like that crazy of a product.
It might be like super toxic.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you
But
imagine
is
how
it-
much of that stuff you'd have to put in the water, and then that stuff's in your eyes.
But think about how toxic just a regular swimming pool is. Like all the chlorine that's in there.
Good point.
That's got to be horrible for you, right?
Bro, you know what we played the other day on Protect Our Parks? We were trying to figure out why is there fluoride in water?
Yeah, that's the oldest.
no
Yeah,
reason
that's
for
the oldest.
fluoride to be in drinking
That's
water.
such an old conspiracy theory.
It's a real
It's so
one.
old, and they literally open up bags of fluoride and dump it into
Drinking
the
water.
local drinking water. It's like something you do.
Not only that, we played it on Protect Our Parks. We were like trying to figure this out. There's a direct correlation between high levels of fluoride in drinking water and low IQs.
I believe it. Like,
100%.
like why would they open up sacks of fluoride and put it in the water?
You know why? Because you got fluoride and you're trying to sell that shit.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're in the fluoride business and you're hearing us talking like, shut the fuck up. Because if people stop drinking or putting fluoride in drinking water.
And the official reason, and I don't know, this might be bullshit.
Tooth
but
decay.
Yeah, they're trying to like
Bro.
take care of our teeth.
Brush your fucking teeth.
Yeah.
You know what I said that's like? That's like if some people are getting skin cancer, oh, we're going to put sunscreen in apples.
Yeah, same thing.
Why would you do that? Just wear sunscreen. You can get
Yeah.
sunscreen anywhere.
Oh, you really care about our teeth that
Right,
much?
that much.
You care about our teeth that much? You're sending fucking shipments, like those shipping containers filled with fluoride in these sacks that you open them up.
Dumping
and
them into reservoirs.
doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
There are some cities that have
Stopped doing
they
that?
stopped it.
They should
They
stop
get
doing that.
the community gets together.
They
and
should
says,
get together.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's where it starts. Really,
That's
the
a
community.
weird one, man. That's one that's been around for a long time. By the way, who doesn't brush their fucking teeth? Dude, I didn't go to the dentist for 10 fucking years. For
Yeah.
10 years. I went, 0 cavities.
Yeah,
0 cavities. I don't drink fucking tap water.
yeah,
Ever.
never.
Ever. I also eat very little sugar and I brush my fucking teeth.
Yeah.
Dude, I got Invisalign.
So do I.
I'm wearing it right now. For the first time, when I first started wearing it, Trey the Truth was on the podcast, and he wears a grill. And I was like, bro, how do you wear that grill and talk? Like, because it was fucking with my talking. The first time I wore it on a podcast, I had to not wear it. I can still hear it a little. Can you hear it, Jamie? No?
I thought I looked at your teeth and I'm like, damn, it looks like he has a Invisalign, but he doesn't. He would, but you do. I wear that shit all the time too.
I'm trying to clean my teeth up, man.
Yeah.
My lower teeth have been crooked forever, and my doctor said it would probably help my sleep apnea.
What do you think of our teeth?
Pretty. They're nice. You got nice teeth, bro. You got a nice beard. I like
you.
that beard. I was saying that I shaved my beard before I got here today because I look too old.
I did a music video the other day, so I grew up my beard because I played a coyote. Like
I
you know
love
those.
that video. You sent it to me. I love that video.
And
That song is hilarious.
yeah, it's a confusing song.
El Coyote.
Purposely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll shave it. I never really had a full beard.
like it.
I'll see what's up for a while. I look like I'm fucking 93. I know it.
You remember when Evan Tanner died and I grew that full beard? We all did.
Yeah, Evan Tanner was a legend, man.
Legend,
man.
I really like that guy, man. When he died, it was when I was living in Colorado. And I said, fuck it, man, I'm going to grow my beard. I had a fucking full-ass beard.
I was a big
all the way
Evan
up to
Tanner
my
fan.
face. He was a good
big
dude,
Evan
man.
Tanner fan. He was
Interesting.
he had good jiu-jitsu. And back in the day, not that many UFC fighters that were non-Brazilian had good jiu-jitsu. You just didn't see it that
Right.
much, and he was like one of the first.
You remember when he won the middleweight title and he fought Dave Terrell?
How did he win?
Dave Terrell caught him in a guillotine and almost fucking had him. And he gassed out, and Evan Tanner pounded him out. That's how he won the middleweight title. Dave Terrell, man.
Beast.
God damn, was his jiu-jitsu good.
Beast.
And still is, I'm sure. One of the very first elite leg lockers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Elite leg lockers.
And-
And a fucking animal.
And Dave Terrell was one of the, he was one of the first pure no-gi pioneers. There was a couple out there. You know, there's Chris Brennan, there was Dave Terrell, Eric Paulson.
Shout out to Chris Brennan.
Yeah, there was like maybe 4 guys that got their black belt in the gi that decided to go no-gi.
Dean Lister.
Dean Lister. Yep. That's right. He doesn't really train.
Bro,
on
you
the
been
gi.
paying attention to Jeff Monson?
What happened?
Jeff Monson lives in Russia, speaks perfect Russian. Go to Jeff Monson's Instagram. I think it's Snowman Monson. I forget what it is. He's a full-on Russian. He lives in Russia. He supports Mother Russia. He's got a fucking CCP. He's got like a hammer and sickle tattoo. He's all in.
Interesting.
This is Jeff Monson, man. He's fucking Russian now. He defected. He's a Russian citizen. See if you can go to a video where he's talking in Russian, because there's a lot on his Instagram where he's talking in Russian. So you can find one of the, there it goes. Play that.
Сьогодні ми споминаємо пободу над фашизмом под Сталинградом.
I got fascism in there.
Наші солдати на Донбасі.
How wild is that?
I wonder what the hell he said.
I don't know. I hope we didn't let him say anything horrible.
Is Russia is Russia considered communist still?
Yeah.
Still.
I mean, Russia
Don't
is.
they because wait,
It's a dictatorship.
wait, the Soviet
Well,
Union.
actually, no. Let me say that right. I'm wrong. No, they have elections.
But man,
But if you want to run against Putin, bro,
yeah.
good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck with all that. You ain't got much time
When was
left.
the last time they had an election?
Well, you know that guy Prigozhin who tried to make a coup against Putin, and he just died in a plane crash.
Is that coup that lasted like 6 hours?
The guy who they were literally headed towards Moscow. He was the head of the Wagner Group, headed towards Moscow, and then they pulled back at the last minute.
Yeah.
And Putin's like, yeah, bro, I'll see you in a little bit. And then his plane blew up in the sky. There's a video of his plane in the sky, and it's like on fire in the sky.
Yeah.
Nothing suspicious about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy.
But like Soviet Union was communist, and then the Soviet Union fell. Like the history of the Soviet Union and today's Russia is really confusing to me. Like I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe with anything. Like when in regards to history, like man, it's just like what is real and what's not. I'm just like fuck. I just like okay, let's just see how everything plays out. But Soviet Union fell, so I
Yes.
thought like Russia is claiming like democratic socialism or something.
Sort of democratic, but Putin is basically running it because Putin was the president of Russia or whatever they call it over there, and then he stepped down, and then his main guy took over, and then Putin's like, "Fuck this, I'm taking over again," and now he's running it, and he's been running Russia. When did he start running? When was his second term as the president of Russia?
I have no.
Do you know who
fucking
also
idea.
has a fucking Soviet passport or a Russian passport? Roy Jones.
Really
Roy Jones Jr. is tight with Putin.
interesting?
Yeah, well, he's a star over there, man.
Really?
Yeah, man. He had a bunch of boxing fights over there. They love him over there. They love elite combat sports athletes, and Roy Jones Jr. in his prime was the fucking man.
Yeah. When you talk about the all-time greats, you can, in his prime, he may have, I would say he's the best technician ever.
One of the best athletes that's ever competed in boxing. He was so fast.
Think about that one round he had with Vinny Pazienza, where only round in
CompuBox history.
yeah, in CompuBox history where Vinny Pazienza couldn't land a punch. Incredible.
And then Roy tried to stop the fight. He was teeing off on him. He said to the referee, come on, man. It's over.
Yeah.
And the referee's like, continue. He's like, all righty. Okay. Putin has been Russia's most powerful politician since he assumed the presidency in 2000. After resignation of his predecessor, Boris Yeltsin. But he stepped down for a while and then came back again, though. But he was like still kind of in power. If he still remains in power until 2036, his tenure will surpass even that of Joseph Stalin, who ruled the Soviet Union for 29 years.
They're supposed to have 6-year terms, but he created a new law that can allow that term limit to be reset.
It's a good move. It's a good move if you want to run things. That's what Chris Rock was saying about Trump.
What did he say?
When Trump made it into office, he's like, he's never getting out of there. He'll change the fucking laws. He's not going to stop being president. I remember Chris Rock was saying that on stage. It was hilarious.
You know that guy Yuri Bezmenov that you bring up every now and then, and he explains ideological subversion, right?
Bro.
If that shit's real, and it seems like it's real, then does that mean Russia is responsible for all our shit?
If it's not real, what a prediction. What a
Yeah.
crazy prediction that we would lose all faith in our democratic process and that we would all, the children from the universities will all adapt Marxist, Leninist philosophy. They all do.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people are young kids that consider themselves Marxists?
Yeah, so are we in the middle of a fucking of a Russian infiltration, or is it Chinese?
Well, I think both of those countries are very clever. You know, they do some very clever things. And one of the things that China does is they buy up corporations. Do you know how many? Someone showed me a list of all these corporations that are run by China. I don't even know if this is true.
Is what's the Chinese president?
Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping. Is Xi Jinping and what's his fucking name from Russia?
Putin?
Putin. Are they like buddies? Because they're both like communists, right?
Well,
I'm confused there.
I'm sure they're united against America now. You know,
And if Yuri Bezmenov, if he's right, he's basically saying that Russia has put, we're under some kind of like 20-year Russian infiltration ideological subversion plan or something
yeah.
like that.
What he
That's
was basically
scary.
saying was that they have this very long game approach, whereas the United States, we try to do things quickly and we think about short term, whereas in Russia they think about things very long, very long.
Yeah.
They're not afraid of people dying over there because they lost so many people in so many wars.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't for Russia, Russia holding off the Nazis, Russia helped us win World War II in a giant way, in a fucking giant way. And you look at the losses that Russia faced. What was that? The one battle that Shane Gillis brought up during the podcast, like Shane Gillis is a gigantic history buff, and he brought up this one battle where Russia lost some fucking insane amount of people holding off the Nazis. I mean, insane amount of people, like way more than any war we've ever lost. That was one of the things that people always said about Russia. Like the girls are so hot, and there's like they so outnumber men because so many men died.
Yeah.
So many men died over there. So for the longest time, it was like this overabundance of these hot Russian women. And how many of them came over and became spies?
Yeah. Man, it's like, what the fuck is going on? It almost
What is
seems
going
like,
on?
It's like, I don't know what to believe anymore, dog. It's like, it almost seems like there's a great awakening and there's a great reset. You know, Klaus Schwab talking about the great reset. And then there's a great awakening. A lot of people are waking up. It's like sometimes I feel like the great awakening is winning, and then sometimes I feel like the great reset is winning. Like when you start, like all this fighting that we're doing, we're fighting over like dumb shit all the time. I'm like,
All the time. Like bathrooms, and gender.
Yeah, meanwhile, like this new world order is like digital currency and
Climate change.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like what the fuck is going on? It just seems
know.
like there's our politicians here, you know, the ones that we see, the ones that are on TV, and then whatever's above them, the guys we don't see, maybe they just want to just destroy America. Like, how do we destroy America? How do we make it?
I think what they want is control.
And-
They
and-
want control the way that China has control, the way that Russia has control.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's so much freedom in America in terms of freedom of speech and freedom to do whatever you want.
It's like on the surface we see the left fighting with the right, right? On the
Yeah.
surface, right? But what if the overall goal is to get us like the only way we're going to have like a military regime, like the controllers, they want as much of a military regime as possible, maybe disguise it so we don't think we're under. But the best way to do that, the most not the easiest, but the best way is you got to make the people embrace the military, right? You got to make them embrace. How do you make them embrace it? Right now, we're kind of embracing it. We're like, oh, where's the military tribunals and all that shit? With all the shit, it's almost like that. Like, were we tricked? Are we being tricked into embracing the military? Like, there's so, like, I don't know which way the shit's going. It's just so all over the fucking place, man. There's like all the stuff that Biden is doing. It's like, who's advising this motherfucker? You know what I mean?
He's running again.
And then they're
Which is
talking about
so wild.
Michelle Obama running. That keeps coming up. Ted Cruz just talked about that.
I think Gavin Newsom can win.
You don't think Michelle Obama has a better chance? She's
If she
she's
wants
a woman,
to do it.
She's a minority.
Yeah, if she wants to do it.
Yeah.
But does she want to do it? I mean, she's never expressed it. It seems like Gavin Newsom wants to be president.
Yeah.
And he like fits the bill. Handsome, tall, smooth talker.
Like,
He'd be so much better than Biden as a president.
I mean, that's a no-brainer. It just seems like, man,
That was,
is
I was
this,
bringing
is
up
this a
on the
trick?
last
Is this a
podcast.
trick? Is this just so obvious?
He's trying to figure out how to remove these homeless encampments in California, but there's laws against it. There's laws that prevent you from pushing those people out.
I will say
and
this. Though.
removing
I will
homeless-
say this. People talk a lot of shit. I mean, I'm in California for the weather. I like the weather, man. The
Weather's amazing.
The weather's amazing, dude. We've had like probably 14 days over 100 degrees, and y'all's out here and in Florida, you guys are like 6 months of just death. You know what I mean?
Bro,
And
I
don't
can
say you
handle
like it because
I like it.
if you like it, turn your air conditioner off and tell them how much you like it. Everybody says they like it, as long as they're in air-conditioned
Right, but that's how
facilities.
California is too. When it's 100 degrees outside in
no, I'm
California,
talking about
you want to be.
No, the amount of days per year.
That's true.
There's so
It's way
few.
more. It's
so
way
few.
hotter here for
And-
longer.
And I almost moved to Florida. I almost did it. Almost went to Tampa. Thank God I didn't. I'm glad I waited it out. But during the height of all the BS, man, it was so scary on the 101. There were the homeless they were on the
Everywhere.
freeway. So if you're in
Everywhere.
rush hour on the 101, it's like Mad Max, dog. It was
Yeah.
fucking scary. You're just sitting there, and there's all these people around you just living and camped out on the
Bro,
freeway.
if they just got rid of that, if they just eliminated the homeless encampments, find shelter for these people, get them counseling, that's number one.
But they did clean all that up. They're not on the freeways no more.
Not on the
They-
freeways.
They
but
cleaned
they still, if you go to Venice, it's a disaster. If you
yeah,
go to
but
Santa
it's not.
Monica,
They,
it's a disaster.
They have cleaned it up a little bit. I can't deny it. I see
okay.
it. I'm
They
there.
should
have-
clean it up,
Yeah,
like all
yeah.
the way.
And there was this,
Do
you know,
that.
I drive in the downtown all the time, and there's a certain bridge that I drive under, and it's always every day. It's people like put up like houses there.
Yeah, they
you know
have
what I mean?
electricity. They tap in the lines.
But they cleaned it out.
Good.
I don't know if they cleaned it out everywhere, but in
Good.
my path where I see them, like they're doing something about the homeless.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Praise to them for doing that.
Yeah.
Next step, you got to eliminate these fucking crazy DAs that take these violent fucking people that shoot people and assault people and rob things. You got to have fucking police. You got to
Yeah.
have law and order. All this defunding the police is too scary. These smash and grabs in all these stores.
Fuck
Bro,
yeah.
these smash and grabs are great. Down the street from my old podcast studio at the Topanga Mall, they fucking smashed into the Nordstrom.
Yeah.
They just smash and grab everything. They did it in Century City. They did it in Beverly Hills.
It seems like, man, it just seems like.
If he can clean that up, if he could refund the police, clean that up, make LA safe, like 2016 safe.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Why not? Bro, if that guy did that, he could get a lot of people's vote for president.
They just cleaned up. Cut the fucking taxes, too. Like, the California taxes are like, what the fuck are we doing over here?
But if the taxes were worth it, right? If it's worth that 14% to live in the state. Look, I don't mind paying taxes, right? I don't want to pay too much taxes, but people think I moved here to not pay taxes. That is not the case. If LA was the same LA from 2015, I'd still be in LA. 100%. I miss the Comedy Store. I miss 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu. I miss all the restaurants I used to go to. I miss all my friends. I miss it. But they just got too crazy during the pandemic. They just got too crazy with shutting down businesses. They got too crazy with telling people what they can do and what they can't do. Too crazy with mandating vaccines for kids to go to school. They got too crazy with all those things. If they didn't do that, I don't mind paying the taxes, man.
Yeah.
I don't mind. I get it. I get it. I'm wealthy, and it shouldn't affect me as much as it does other people. I get that. But I'm saying that, like, if it was worth it, if you got something out of it, if there's something you get from it where it's like, it's worth that 14%. But 14% is crazy. That's so much money.
Yeah.
If you make $100,000 a year, you have to pay $14,000 to the fucking government. For what? For what?
Yeah.
That's so much money, man. 14 grand?
Yeah.
If you make 100 grand, now you make 96, or now you make 86.
And then you got to pay federal tax.
And then you got to pay federal tax.
Yeah.
And then you got to pay sales tax.
Yeah.
And property tax. I mean, there's so many taxes. But if it was worth it. And then they got this mansion tax. Do you know about the mansion tax?
I heard about that.
That's
I don't know too much
crazy.
about that.
Pull it up. Whitney Cummings was complaining about it. If you have a house and it's worth a certain amount of money, I don't know who pays it, whether it's the buyer or the seller. But there's a tax that gets slapped onto it, like if it's worth X amount of money.
Dude, I got to piss so bad.
Go piss. Pause. I'll piss too.
I've just commented like.
Oh, okay.
We
So it's like a
are we
it's a-
recording this?
I mean, we are.
Shane Gillis is deleting Jamie's posts. When Jamie comments on Shane Gillis's Instagram, Shane deletes it.
Yeah, the first
It's
one
over
was-
football, though.
Yeah, it was just a GIF. It was just like a response, Ohio State fun GIF, and it's gone. I was like, well, what happened? Who took it down? I thought Instagram took it down.
Notre
first.
Dame lost?
Yeah, I thought Instagram was thinking I was bullying him, but that's not the case.
And who's they?
thinking about-
What was it? Ohio State?
Yeah, they scored in the last play of the game, 4th down,
Oh,
1
it's-
yard run.
Oh shit! Right down to the wire.
Yeah. But he keeps deleting
Football's
them.
emotional, man.
That
You
makes sense.
spend a lot of time.
Shane believes in censorship. That's
Yeah,
what I'm getting out
that's
of
all
this.
I've understood about this whole thing.
Shane believes in censorship.
It gets,
Of all
dude. You
people.
spend all week thinking about this game Sunday, and then they
get it.
play like shit, and you waste 3-4 hours watching this motherfucker. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth.
I get it. I get it now after I went to that game and I saw how hyped people get in Dallas. Seeing the Cowboys playing Dallas. Cowboys smoked the Jets. But it was wild watching it, man. I was like, this is fun.
They lost last night, and the Cowboys fans are so pissed about it.
It goes back and forth, dude.
Yeah.
Back and forth. If you
course.
lose, everybody shits on you. If you win, oh my God, we have a chance to make it to the playoffs. It's very emotional. There's a lot of shit talking going on in football.
I can get into it a little bit, but I don't have the time to really get into it.
I'm into it because I've always been into it, but it's also, I know that sports are a distraction. They want, like empires, they like the circus and the distraction. I know it's a distraction. It's meant to distract you from what's really going on, and it gets you to not pay attention, like to, what the government's doing to you and all that shit. But
that might have been why it was initially created.
Yeah.
But right now, it exists as a beautiful form of entertainment
Yeah.
that makes people's lives happy.
But I use it for a distraction because I'm like,
Right.
you can't be kept in conspiracy all day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like watching music documentaries and football. That's what I do to get away from fucking.
Do you know what I get? I get away from. I watch professional pool.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
crazier than football.
That's what I watch because it's completely apolitical.
Are there team pool sports?
Yes, there's a thing called the Moscone Cup.
And it's a team.
Yeah.
It's like quintet.
It's like Team USA versus Team Europe. It's a big event that happens every year. And one year it'll happen in the United States, like last year it was in Vegas. This year it's in London. And the people cheer and scream.
How many
and
people
it's
per
fucking
team?
Wild. That's a good question. I'm not sure. But they play 2 at a time. So 2 people play against 2 people. So if you and I were playing, so if you're playing 9-ball, 9-ball is rotation pool. It means you have to make the 1, then you have to make the 2, and then when you make the 9, you win. So if you and I were on a team, you would make the 1 ball, but you'd play position for me to make the 2 ball. Then I would make the 2 ball, and then you would make the 3 ball. That's how the game's played.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't like that. I like one-on-one. One-on-one's my favorite.
Who's the Hickson Gracie of pool right now?
Shane Van Boning is a dude from South Dakota who's deaf. And he turns his hearing aid off when he plays. He doesn't hear shit. He just goes into the zone. You could talk shit about him all day. You could say crazy things. He doesn't even hear it. He's just in the zone, and he's just dedicated. Dude practices 8 hours a day. He beat this dude in this tournament he played last week. He beat this dude 10-0, and he ran 9 racks. So for 9 racks, he broke and ran out.
What's running 9 racks? What does that mean?
That means the other guy doesn't even shoot.
Because he just made every shot.
Made every shot.
It's crazy that people could do that.
So good. He's so good.
Damn.
If you watch him play, he's a machine, man. He's a machine. He makes shot, and also like getting a shot on the 1 after the break. Like, what are the odds you're going to get a shot in the 1? He ran 7 racks in a row.
Is there a skill to that, the break?
Yeah, yeah.
He's got to hit it as hard as possible.
It's not as hard as possible. It's as accurate as possible, and sometimes it's the right speed. Sometimes if you hit it too hard, the balls scatter too much, and you don't have control. But if you hit it just the right speed, you will make like the 1 ball on the side, and the 2 ball likely will bounce out and get a shot. And this motherfucker ran 7 racks in a row in a big tournament against the best players in the world. And then he ran 2 more racks, and then he fucking won the game.
And he's an American?
10-0. He's an American, yeah. He's maybe the best of all
Are there
time.
countries that produce, is it random, or is there certain countries that produce good
I'm
pool
a
players?
big fan of the guys from China. I'm a
makes
huge
sense.
fan of the guys from China and the guys from the Philippines. Those are some of my favorite players. And Taiwan. There's these 2 brothers out of Taiwan, the Ko brothers. Ko Pin Yi and Ko Ping Chung. They're my favorite players to watch. I love watching those guys play.
Do they ever play against each other?
Yeah, they do. It's funny. It's funny watching them play because they have the same kind of style.
It's like the Rutolo brothers, you know?
A little bit.
They had to
yeah.
they had to fight in the finals of, I think it was the brown belt gi worlds, or was it black belt? But yeah, they don't fake shit, dude.
No,
the
going
Rutolo
after it.
brothers are fucking animals.
Animals.
Dude. Those guys are
All
animals.
natural, too. And they're
Yeah.
like 20 years old.
Yeah,
And they're amongst the best in the world.
and they're just getting started.
And they have a deal with ONE FC too.
Yeah.
They do the ONE FC
Yeah.
grappling
Yeah.
thing over there.
Dude.
That's another thing I love
Yeah.
about ONE FC. They
They
got
mix it
Michael
all up.
Musumeci over there, and I love it.
They
I
mix
love
it
that
up.
they do that.
You,
Yeah.
you go to Shatri invited me to that Denver show, the first US show. That was insane, man. That was insane. It was just a mix of kickboxing, MMA, grappling,
Love
and
it.
and the grapplers came out with like they look like superstars, like the Rutolo brothers and Mikey Musumeci. They're superstars.
What I love about Chatri and what he's doing with ONE FC is they're embracing all the aspects of martial arts. They have Muay Thai with little gloves. They have Jiu-Jitsu. They have real fucking elite level MMA. It's fucking great. They even have kickboxing.
Yeah.
So they have kickboxing, which is no elbows, no clinch. none
Oh,
of that.
they have regular kickboxing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And what style is that called?
Kickboxing, like Glory. Glory is regular kickboxing.
No elbows,
No elbows.
no knees.
No knees. You can go knees, but you can't clinch and throw knees the way everybody else does. It's like K1. K1 was kickboxing. It's not. K1 is not MMA.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, it's not Muay Thai. So K1 does not allow elbows.
K1 does not allow elbows, but they do allow a brief clinch.
Yep,
Just
a
real
brief
quick, boom.
clinch, one knee from the clinch. You can't hold on like Anderson Silva did with Rich Franklin. Hold on and just batter him with knees. Remember when
Yeah.
Anderson Silva got that plum on Rich Franklin
Yeah.
and just destroyed him?
Yeah, that was.
Bro, Anderson in his prime.
The interesting thing about, or one of the interesting things about Anderson Silva. There's so many, but he was like middle of the road for a while. He wasn't.
Right.
He was just one of those dudes from shoebox coming up. He was winning. He was losing. He fought Ryu. What was that guy's name? The Japanese guy that did the flying.
Flying heel hook on him.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those
He was Mayhem's training partner. What was that dude's name?
Ryu.
God damn it.
Anderson Silva versus. I'm embarrassed that I forgot his name.
I'm embarrassed too.
Yeah, it starts with an R though. I know that.
That guy was good.
Yeah.
He threw that crazy flying scissor takedown to a heel hook, which
Yeah.
is like, that's pro wrestling.
Well, it's actually.
I mean, it's legit, but
It's that? No, that's it right there.
Rio Chonan.
There
That's
we go.
it.
I was right
Rio
with the R.
Chonan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check out this fight.
See if you can find that. It was a good fight too. So this was Anderson before he went to Cage Rage. Remember, he went to Cage
Yes,
Rage?
yes.
And when he went to Cage Rage, that's when he became the fucking man. When he went to Cage Rage, bro, so Rio Chonan, he threw this flying. Is it going to show it in here?
Like they're discussing it. It's a video about the whole event.
Do they have the actual segment? See if you can
I got it,
scroll.
I got it.
There it is.
There
Look
it is.
at this.
Boom.
Look at that. That
Oh.
is crazy.
Yeah, that was like Marvin Castell.
Crazy. The
Yeah.
way he did
Oh.
it, crazy.
That move, by the way, is illegal in my tournament.
Really?
Dude,
Because it's too many knees get destroyed.
You can just break a leg right there. I
yeah.
witnessed right in front of my face a leg getting destroyed, and I'm like, okay, that is banned. We are banning that one.
What happened?
You know, one of my students just did that move that you just saw, and he
Snapped
landed.
someone's
He
knees.
landed on the shin, and it fucking snapped, man. And it was not good. It was.
What
not good.
happened to Richie? Did Richie get his leg snapped recently?
With Craig Jones?
Yeah.
No, he tweaked it. He heard it. Craig Jones did some crazy behind the back toe hold thing that it was fucking crazy. But yeah, you know,
Craig Jones doing some wild shit, man.
Craig Jones, one of the best in the world, one of the best to do it, you know. And you know, they won the quintet team tournament. It was fucking badass, man. We got to the finals against B team, and Craig Jones just too much, you know. But you know, we did great. My guys did great. Everybody did great, man.
It looked like a break. That's why I was scared. It looked like he broke his ankle.
Maybe something got cracked, but he didn't tell me. He was, you know, we were walking right afterwards. It wasn't
Really?
He wasn't limping or anything.
Oh, okay, so it just popped.
Yeah, a little pop on the outside. If it pops on the outside, there's nothing you can really do. I mean, there's no surgery for it. You just wait it
Rehab
out. You just wait it out. You know, I've had my ankle pop many times, and then
Yeah.
it's sore and tender for a long time.
I had
A
my
long time.
ankle popped once and it swole up and then the whole thing was black.
Yeah.
Like my whole ankle is black. I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to throw a kick again.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, here it is.
Oh, that was
It's hard to see
after.
what happened. I mean, I could show you, but
Yeah, you show it right before this. So here it is.
Before that? Okay, so look at him. He reaches with his left hand. He reaches behind his back, like right there. Look at left hand, right there. And then he puts a toe hold. So he's got his left hand on one side of Richie's leg and his right hand in between the legs with a toe hold. You couldn't really see it in that angle, but I never really seen that before. It was, look at this. Boom. Look at this. Like,
Do you remember when Craig Jones
Boom.
had
right
that
there.
match with Vinny Magalhaes and he broke his ankle?
Yes.
He broke his
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
He broke his shin bone, right?
I don't know the.
I think it was his
I don't
shin
know
bone.
the exact
Because-
damage he did.
Because Craig tried to tell him, "Hey, it's broke." He's like, "It's okay." It's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, but it's broken." Like
That was
like it's
gruesome.
like moving around.
Yeah, that
And
was gruesome.
I talked to Vinny when Vinny was at Abu Dhabi. He's like, "Yeah, I'm still kind of fucked up."
Yeah.
I think he had to get a plate in it.
Vinny was one of the first leg lock pioneers in ADCC. People forget about that. He won the whole thing, I think, in 2000, was it 7 or 9 or something? And he was heel hooking the shit out of people. Him and Dean Lister.
Yeah.
They came up and
I think Vinny's the last guy to beat Gordon.
is he the last one?
I believe so.
I think so.
Do you remember when Vinny did a flying armbar on Pe de Pano?
I don't remember that. In the jiu-jitsu match?
No gi.
I don't remember that.
Beautiful.
On Pe de
Beautiful.
Pano?
Beautiful.
Let's see if we can find that.
Beautiful.
Pe de Pano.
Beautiful.
Vinny Magalhaes. I don't.
Pe de Pano's a fucking animal.
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
He
at
hit him
all.
with a flying armbar. See if you can find that. Vinny Magalhaes, Pe de Pano, flying armbar. Oh, it's fucking gorgeous. And to see a guy do that on a world champion at that high a level and to catch it,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
picture perfect.
Yeah, and what I was saying about Anderson Silva was he didn't come out as just like the baddest motherfucker on the
No.
planet right away. It took a while.
Right.
You know, then he went to Cage Rage.
Yes.
And he started fucking people up.
That's
What was
when
his
he came
biggest
apart.
what was his biggest win in Cage Rage?
Lee Murray.
Oh.
Oh, remember that?
Yeah.
Lee Murray was a fucking killer.
There's a documentary about him.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah, I was talking to Guy Ritchie about it. Lee Murray was a real gangster who could fight. He wound up being part of the crew that committed the biggest armed robbery in the history of the UK. Bro,
Insane.
they had like fucking
Insane.
like a movie, like Heat. Like
Yeah.
full face masks on and goggles and fucking tactical equipment and bulletproof vests. And they robbed I think they stole like $50 million. Something crazy.
And they got away with it for a while.
Eh.
Sorta.
Everybody kind of knew. It's one of those things in the fucking criminal world. Like those guys aren't real good at shutting the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, and they're wild people. If you're doing something like that, you got friends, and you're telling your friends, and those friends are probably going to get arrested, and then they're going to fucking, hey, I know some shit. Next thing you know. See if you can find. Did you find that?
I don't know how to spell the other guy's name.
P-E
Oh, wait, I just found it.
D-E
Oh, okay, here we go.
Pedepano.
That's his nickname. That's part of the problem.
Oh,
I forget
what's his real name?
Marcio Cruz.
There it is. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, he's huge. He's like 6'5", giant guy.
He fought in MMA too, but it didn't really pan out for him. I believe
it's in
he
the
fought.
gi?
It's not
No, it's no gi.
There it is.
That's I know it's locked behind the paywall there though.
Oh, the Flow grappling paywall. I got a subscription.
Well, I'll take
Oh, here, try that. Click that.
That's not. That's why I was.
Oh, video unavailable.
Give me a second. Yeah, let me type this in YouTube. Hold on.
Anthony Peroche. I forgot about him too. Dude was a fucking animal.
This is not it.
Just Google flying armbar. Google. No. Pedepano. No. Marcio Cruz flying armbar. Just Google that. Marcio Cruz flying armbar. Yeah, here we go. Let me see it. Yeah, but you don't want to see him doing it. You want to see Vinny Magalhaes doing it to him.
Well then,
Yeah. No. Leave Vinny Magalhaes, Marcio Cruz. Yeah, there we go. Let's try that.
it would have already come up. It's not gonna.
Come on, really?
Not on YouTube this way. This is not the best way to look for this stuff. That's what I was trying to do.
That's crazy. How's that
It's on
not?
the Flow grappling page, and it's behind a paywall, and that's the only clip that I can find.
I'll send you my password. Hold on a second.
While you do that, dude, I gotta pee again.
Ah, good. Bro, you got a bone from the 90s. What are you doing?
No, I
When
don't
are you
know.
going to upgrade?
I did. I just got a new one.
You get a
dude,
15?
Dude, coffee and beer just make me want to piss all
I
the
get
time,
it.
dude.
Goes
Just-
right through you.
Dude, sorry about that.
No worries, man. That's the whole reason why we could pause. We're not going to find that video. But what was another video that we were trying to find?
Another great ADCC classic moment was when Davi Ramos got a flying armbar. That was 2015 in Sao Paulo.
Davi Ramos, a
Dude,
fucking
holy
animal.
shit. He found the UFC a little bit, right?
A little bit. I was surprised that he didn't go further. I had a feeling he was going to smoke everybody once it got to the ground.
Yeah.
Because I just felt like, how are you going to stop that guy?
Yeah, man. His armbar was fucking insane.
It is so hard to make the transition to the UFC. It's so hard.
Dude, you got to have your striking on point.
You got to have everything on point.
It's like striking and wrestling, because every fight, every round starts on your feet. Like, that's the most important thing. You're striking and you're wrestling. In the early days, you can get away with just being really good at jiu-jitsu and getting a clinch and dragging the fight to the ground. But,
Not anymore.
oh, dude, everybody's hard to take down now. There's
Everybody.
no more easy takedowns.
You know who's crazy, who's still in the mix? Well, it was until recently. Hani Yahya. That guy was around forever.
Yeah, he got to the finals of the Abu Dhabi I was in, 2003. He was 17 and got to the finals against Leo Vieira.
And he was fighting in the UFC recently.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really
good. That guy understands the clinch game. If he would have been on just a little more striking, if he would have been a better striker, just a little. He is his jiu-jitsu, man. He had good MMA jiu-jitsu. He was all about squeezing and clinching and smashing, and he got a lot of that from Hickson. Like Hickson took him under his wing for a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Hickson was in his corner for a
he's
while.
a squeezer, not
Team constrictor. That was his team.
Yeah, not all jiu-jitsu champions coming from the gi. Not all of them are squeeze machines. Some of them, are really good at collar chokes. You know what I mean? And they're just death with those things. They get a hand in your collar, man. You're going to sleep.
Remember when Murillo Bustamante had to tap Matt Lindland twice?
Murillo Bustamante was the one who upkicked Jerry Bolander.
Was he?
I think so. I think it was Murillo Bustamante up, because I said before it was Fabio Gurgel.
Yeah.
I get the names mixed up, but I'm pretty sure it was Bustamante. How about when he tapped out Matt Lindland twice? You're talking about that?
Yeah.
Dude, in one fight.
Yeah.
The craziest fight ever.
Crazy. Big John McCarthy separated them. Said the fight was over. Matt Lindland's like, I didn't tap. He definitely tapped.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have instant replay back then. So Big John's like, okay, fight again. Keep fighting. And Murillo's like, what the fuck? And I think they went a whole round after that. And then the next round, Murillo caught him in a guillotine.
Crazy shit. That happened. That kind of happened when
Sakuraba.
I commentated for a show called Too Hot to Handle in Amsterdam.
Oh, yeah.
In Amsterdam.
Remember that?
And Gilbert Ivo. Remember him?
Sure.
Man, what a scary dude that was. That guy. He was the one in Pride 10 that threw one strike against Gary Goodridge, one head kick, and he went down. Let's see what this is.
What's this? Oh, this is it.
Yeah.
We found it.
Yeah.
This is deep searching, but we found it.
Damn, let it go. Here we go. Watch this. It's so beautiful, dude.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Wow.
How beautiful is that?
Wow. Look, he's wearing tights.
Yeah. Beautiful.
No
Beautiful.
no greasing on him.
No, not at all.
Did he tap that quick?
Yep. Yeah, he knew it was over.
Dude, let's see that whole thing again. Right as he was going down, he was already extending the arm. Look at that. He's got the collar tie, off the collar tie. Look at that. Boom. Man, he went on the left arm.
Amazing.
Oh, that was quick. That's
He
huge.
probably verbal tapped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. That was when Vinny was training with you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Damn.
To do that to a guy that high level, I mean, that's fucking incredible.
See if you could find Davi Ramos ADCC 2015 flying armbar. I don't know. I mean, it's different than this one, but it's equally impressive, I think.
Really, we should give props to our guy.
Who's our guy? Oh, here it is. Look at this.
Oh, yeah, he jumped on him.
Look at this. Boom!
Insane.
Done. Over. That was so quick.
Davi Ramos is a fucking animal.
Damn.
He just caught him reaching. Look at that. Woo!
And Davi Ramos, he's one of those Brazilians, one of the first Brazilians that came out with high-level leg locks. He's a leg locker. He's a Brazilian leg locker. There's a couple out there that came up that people forgot about. And do you remember when Alan Belcher fought Rusamar Pajares?
Yeah.
Rusamar Pajares was probably the most feared Brazilian leg locker ever. Mm-hmm. The guy's huge, just jacked.
Yeah.
He's like Ken Shamrock in his prime, And he's a leg locker. He just rips people's legs
But
apart.
Alan trained
So
to avoid the leg locks.
Alan brought in Davy Ramos, Davi Ramos, and Dean Lister for his training camp, and he had him out there for a month. And
So
Alan
smart.
Belcher told me, he goes, those dudes were fucking me up. Dean Lister and Davi Ramos with leg locks just over and over. But after a while, I started slowing them down, started countering, started defending, started pulling out. And by the time that UFC match against Rusamar Pajares came around, that was one of the greatest UFC fights of all time.
It was amazing. Because he engaged.
Dude, he had Alan Belcher. But first, Alan Belcher pulls him into a fucking twister, dude. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah.
He comes in. Rusamar Pajares comes in with a single, Alan Belcher doesn't even fight the single. He just transitions that into the truck, and he almost twisters him. Dude gets out, and then he's all over Alan Belcher's legs. He's all over those legs, and Alan just defending, pulling out, defending. He had really good looks on his legs.
Yeah.
And then he finally got out and fucking grounded and pounded his way to the stoppage.
Alan Belcher is a heavyweight bare knuckle fighter now.
He's fighting bare knuckle now?
Did you not know? He was a champion.
I did not know.
He relinquished his title so he could fight for Jorge Masvidal. So he's fighting Jorge Masvidal's MMA fight. He's fighting against Roy Big Country Nelson. And the winner of that is now going to fight Junior Dos Santos.
Holy shit, I had
I'm
no idea.
thinking about going.
I had no idea.
You want to go?
Let's do it.
Let's go to Miami. I think it's in Florida in April. I think that's when the big match is. I think Alan Belcher is fighting,
November 10th.
Yeah, so that's November 10th. And then the winner of that is going to fight Junior Dos Santos. And, bro, Alan Belcher can fucking box.
Damn.
And he's a heavyweight now, man.
Let's see Alan Belcher, Rousimar Palhares. That's got to be up for
Yeah,
free. Dude,
that's gotta
that
be
one
up.
is 100% just violence the whole way
Yeah,
through.
that's
There's no
great.
stopping that one, dude.
That's a great fight.
Oh, my God. Alan Belcher just... And I remember after that, I'm like, dude, you got to put out a fucking leg lock defense.
Yeah.
Look at right here. Look at he's going to take him down. He's going to grab a single, and he's going to go right into the truck. Watch.
Yeah, Alan Belcher was so well. Alan's so smart. He's such a smart dude. He looks so different now because now he doesn't cut any weight. And he got jacked, shaved his head. He's fucking huge now.
Check this out. Single,
Yeah.
right into the truck. Watch. Look at this. Single, right into the truck.
Yep, pulled it right in.
And look, boom, he's caught. He almost twisters him here. Look at that shit.
Look at that. Husamar's like,
Look at that. He could have had the calf slasher right there.
Yep.
That was like he had it right there. But damn, he's going for the grand slam here. He's going. Look at that.
Look
he's
at
so
that. He's going
close.
for the
He's so
twister.
close.
Would that have been the first twister in MMA, or had the
No, that
Korean
would have
Zombie?
been that would have been the first one. I think.
Wow.
I think. I could be wrong, but I think this was the first one. He goes for a little crotch ripper here. Look at that. Damn, he was so close. He has him in it for a while. Look at this.
Yeah, Husamar's like, what the fuck happened?
He needs that baseball bat control. Could have been a
Yeah,
little
look
bit
at
tighter. Oh, look at that.
He's just kind of grabbing it weird. Look at that. Oh my God, he's got the head.
So close.
He's got the head. So close.
Damn.
I
look at
forget
this
how
one.
they broke out of this though.
Let's see.
Paul Harris must have been like,
There's you. Oh. Now, look, it's gonna be a leg battle now. Now this is where all the leg lock defense comes into play here. Look at this shit.
Yep.
Dude, he's deep on him, dude. Look how
Yep.
deep. Oh, he's got that knee bar. He turns to the right way. Look at that. Boom. He's all over his legs. He
slides
got
out of it.
another
one.
good look at another
Wow.
deep look. Look at that. Bam. He's got
Yeah.
a good bite on him.
Look how
at
Allen
that.
uses that left leg to bust free.
Exactly.
Triangles his right leg. Look at that. Dude, that was a wild ass fight, man.
He's on him.
This looks like someone filmed it from the TV.
100%,
Yeah,
yeah,
100%, right?
Look at
Remember
that.
those old days where you buy movies that were like VHS tapes or someone set up a camera in the back of the movie theater?
Yeah.
I used to buy those in New York all the time.
Look, he's putting
Now
him
Allen-
in legs.
Yep.
now. Like he's attacking a little bit here.
I know. And Husamar must have been like, what the fuck is going on? How is this happening?
And this happened way before the leg lock revolution, man.
Oh, way
Look at
before.
this.
Yeah. Way before, right?
Yeah.
I want to say this is like 2004 or something. Like Fox 3.
I would say this 2008, 9.
UFC on Fox 3.
Look at that. He's got so many looks on his legs and this deep.
Yeah.
He's got the knee line and everything. Boom. He just can't finish it off. Look at perfect defense.
Yeah, Alan was so used to it. So many people are so terrified of Paul Harris when he grabbed your leg.
Look at that
See,
spin. Look at the way he spun
Yeah.
out right there. That was it right there. Look at that. Now it's all about ground and pound. Now look at this. Boom.
Because Husamar didn't let go. If he got a hold of your fucking heel, he would tear that shit down and shred it.
And
Was
and
it Mike Pierce? Whose fucking knee did he fuck up where he didn't let go? And then he got kicked out of the UFC.
I forget that one. It may have been Mike Pierce.
They kicked him out. They were like, bro, you got to fucking let people go when they tap. And they're like, that's it, son. He's the only guy to ever get kicked out of the UFC for a win.
Is that real?
Yeah. Yeah, he got banned from the UFC for winning. Boom.
Look at that.
Boom.
He's just battering.
Boom.
Look at
Elbows.
that.
Boom.
Look at that.
Boom. Boom.
Look at this.
Boom. Yeah. And he just fucked him up from here. Just nasty ground.
And he had to have been tripping too on like, man, I had so many chances on his legs.
Well, also, like, he was threatening him, man.
Yeah, look at that. It's gonna be over right there. Boom.
Oh,
look at that.
big shots by Belcher.
It's over.
That's
He
it.
called it.
Now, I want you to Google Alan Belcher bare knuckle boxing. Bro, you haven't seen him lately? He's a heavyweight.
No.
He's giant.
Let's see.
He's
this
covered
shit.
with. He has an Evan Tanner tattoo. Look at
Oh
the size of him.
shit! Damn.
Bro.
Oh
Look at the size of him.
shit!
Saucy.
Oh man.
Because he's like in his 40s now, right? Show me a video, though.
Damn! Look at
The
those
size
arms.
of
Holy
him.
shit!
Fucking gigantic. Show me a video, though. Alan Belcher bare knuckle boxing. Just write bare knuckle boxing after that. Yeah, there you go. And give me some video. Walk off KO. No, watch this. Bro, he can box, man. It's interesting watching him be so big, too. I mean, the size, he's so different. But he's skillful, man.
Damn!
Look at that.
Oh, that guy, it's over.
So he's about to fight Big Country. They're going to fight in Jorge Masvidal's, which I fucking loved. I really loved Masvidal's premiere event. Or not premiere event. He's had a couple of them. But the last one he did with Junior Dos Santos and Fabricio Verdum. Bro, bare knuckle changes everything. Changes everything. You can't take
Damn.
those shots.
And the crazy thing is, he's a business guru. Like,
Masvidal?
no, Alan Belcher.
Alan is, yeah.
Alan Belcher, dude. He
here
has
it is
like
again. So this is Junior. This is Junior and Fabricio. But this is like not the best fight. It was mostly Fabricio Verdum just getting punched in the face. He just like Junior with that boxing, that style that he has, he slices you with those punches. Like you can only take so much of those. And Fabricio got a really nasty cut over one of his eyes. At the end of it, he's like really jacked up. So I'm in full support of Masvidal's organization. I love that he's doing that. I think that's how MMA should be done, bare knuckle. So they're gonna have that Roy Big Country Nelson fight, and then the other one. We should go.
damn.
We should
Let's
go to
do
the
it.
big one.
If I'll check my schedule. If I'm free that weekend, let's do it. It's in Miami.
Go. I think it's in Florida. I'm pretty sure it's in Florida. I'm not sure it's Miami, but it's somewhere in Florida.
Hell yeah, let's do
Yeah,
it.
Masvidal reached out, and I said, "Fuck yeah, dude, I'll go to that. I want to see that. I want to support
Crazy
it."
shit. And like Fabricio Verdum was in there. That guy's a legend. You know, a jiu-jitsu legend, MMA legend, and he, like Anderson Silva in the beginning, you know, he was like middle of the road. He was a jiu-jitsu champion, didn't really have that good striking. I think he fought in Dream, maybe Pride, and he was like up and coming, big Brazilian, amazing jiu-jitsu, but his striking hadn't come together. And then a lot of jiu-jitsu black belts and a lot of jiu-jitsu champions, they'll dip into MMA a little bit, then they realize, you know what, my striking ain't there. I'll just have a school and just make money with my school, and that's fine. But some stay, and they just tough it out, and they just keep going, and they keep going. Like Anderson Silva, his jiu-jitsu wasn't that good, but he kept going, and then his jiu-jitsu got good. He triangled Chael Sonnen. Same thing with Fabricio Verdum. He kept going, and then he turned into like a legit striker, knocking out people with head kicks.
Yeah.
Right? He just kept going.
How
forward.
about let's look at Anderson Silva versus Dan Henderson.
Oh shit!
Remember that one?
Yeah,
that's
brutal.
Anderson in his prime. That's Anderson, top of the food chain, apex predator, perhaps the greatest 185-pounder that's ever lived. When he was on, man, you know, and Dan Henderson just is an animal.
Dude.
Throwing fucking vicious bombs. But this was Anderson Silva when he was in the Matrix. When he would just stand out and bow to everybody. This is a great fucking fight, man. Because Dan Henderson was so fucking dangerous. This is Dan in his prime.
Yeah.
And he had that fucking ridiculous power. Dan Henderson, like if you touch him, he's like made out of wood. He feels like this table.
Yeah. That
He's
right
so
hand's
dense.
ridiculous.
And he's just such an elite fucking wrestler too. And so Anderson just kind of timed him up a little bit. This is what Anderson would do. He would spend the beginning of the round just kind of moving around, looking to see how you move, putting it all in that computer. And then towards the end of the round, Anderson would start opening up. And once he started opening up, man, he was fucking lethal. Because you had to close the distance on him. Because Anderson was a counter striker. So he would stand there and make you lead. And when you lead, you know, you're running into fucking the biggest buzzsaw that ever existed in this division. Oh, that's right. I forget Dan got him down. How did he get him down? Let's see how he got him down.
Does it just cut right to it?
This video is slightly edited.
Oh, yeah. It just shows him taking him down.
He looked like he has like a leg drag position right there.
Yeah, he's almost in half guard. Or it's almost in side control.
Anybody Dan Henderson touches with that right hand, nobody survived that shit.
I know.
He's a wrestler with the fucking Mike Tyson right hand.
Do you remember his knockout of Vanderlei in the rematch? Holy shit.
The Bisping one? Fuck.
Yeah, the Bisping one was insane. But now this is Anderson when he's got his groove, right? This is Anderson loose. Boom, head kick. Boom. Oh, this is all edited up. So he stands up. Henderson's got the clinch. It was a good fight. I forgot how good this fight was. Scooch a little. Oh, yeah. So how did he get him down, though? Back it up.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Right there.
Here it is.
Oh,
That's where it happened.
okay.
It started from stand-up.
Man, it's weird how they're cutting out the takedowns.
Yeah, I don't
It's very
understand that.
important how the fight got to there. But the fact that he's on top right here, that's fucking like what?
I know.
He's on top of a
Well, that was the thing.
world-class wrestler.
His
It's-
fucking grappling was elite, man. At a certain point in time in his career, he really became an elite grappler. I mean, the Minotaur brothers gave him his black belt, right?
Yeah.
Didn't they give it to him after he submitted Chael? Or was it before that?
I don't
think
remember.
it was before that.
I don't remember.
So here he got his back. And I think he went to the Dan Severn, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Boom.
Yeah, look at this.
Look at this.
Under
right
the
there.
chin,
Boom.
right there. Boom, and that's
Brutal.
it.
Brutal.
Big submission.
Was he already the champion at this
Yeah.
point?
Yeah,
Oh,
he was
defending
defending
his
the
title.
Yeah.
Damn. Shit.
Bro.
Dude, so much is happening.
Do you remember the early days where you and I would go to these events where we watch and go, you know what they need? They need some billionaires with some crazy deep pockets to buy the UFC and throw a ton of money at it.
Yeah.
And they fucking did it.
Yeah, it actually happened.
They fucking did it. They really did it.
Yeah. That's what generally, that's what it takes. It takes someone with money to burn that has vision. They go, okay, we're going to burn some money right now, but eventually it's going to come back to us, 1,000-fold. And that's what happened. Holy shit.
Especially when they knew that the product was so good. I mean, there was no denying that the UFC was exciting.
Yeah, people that are just getting into MMA now, you got to go back and go through the timeline. It was, man, the 90s, it blew up. UFC 2 blew it up. No one really knew what UFC 1 was about because there was no B-roll. And they're like, I remember thinking, oh, that's some pro wrestling. Like, we just didn't know what it was. And then you find out it was real. And you're like, oh, shit. And then the UFC 2 comes along and go, okay, let me watch this shit. And it's a 16-man tournament. And I was doing karate at the time, and I remember watching Hoist beat Minoki Ichihara, and it fucking crushed me. I'm like, fuck. Who is this Brazilian guy? Jesus. But by the time he got to the finals, man, I was a big fan. I'm like, oh, shit. You could take people, you could fight on the ground, and you're not considered a pussy? Because I would fight on the ground because I wrestled in high school, and I'd just take a dude down and just hold
I
him
remember
down.
when I first met you, you would wear the fucking scuba gear on your head. Because you had long ass hair.
Yeah.
So you'd wear like scuba gear and you would close it off with ear guards and you would toe hold everybody.
I would wear a Jacques Cousteau like headgear to put all my hair in, and then I would put the wrestling ear guards over it just to
protect it.
just to disguise
hold
it.
it. Oh, okay.
Just so it doesn't look like I'm a fucking Jacques Cousteau. You know.
I remember when I first met you, you were leg locking. You were toe holding everybody.
Yeah.
That was your move.
From Ken Shamrock. I learned it from some instructional video of him in jeans. He has no shirt, looking like a Chippendales dancer, jeans on, and he's doing a toe hold with some Japanese guy because he was all pancrased out. And I'm like, whoa. He was doing it from the top. And I'm like, and I was always on the bottom playing half guard. I'm like, I wonder if I could do it from half guard. So I started doing toe holds from half guard a lot. Toe holds are still super powerful in the game. In today's game,
man.
In today's game, there's some guys that just got that toe hold down. They'll break your fucking foot off.
When Nicky Rod got Gordon in it and popped his ankle, that was nasty.
Yeah, those things are nasty, man. You just got to get really good at it. You just got to know how to use your whole body to twist that foot off.
Also, that'll fuck your ankle up for a long time. I wonder how Gordon's ankle is.
Yeah, he's probably fine. I'm
sure he's fine.
Because it just tears that, like, if it pops, it's like the outside of your foot, like right under that little ankle ball thing. There's like this meat under there that it's going to be
ripped?
Yeah, and it stays sore for a couple months.
Is it
You can get surgery on it. So
can't?
I've ankle surgery only happens when like you break bones, like the ankle bones, all the little ligaments. There's so many little ones that you just kind of just leave it alone and just.
Do you know who Laird Hamilton is?
No.
Laird Hamilton's a world champion surfer. He's a wild man, and he broke his ankle and didn't do shit about it. Just said fuck it, just walk around with a broken ankle, and his one of his ankles is like twice the size of a regular ankle. It just became this like
Calcium deposit
knot
thing.
of bone. It's
Yeah,
all. Look at his ankle. He showed it to me. Look at that.
What?
That's his ankle. Yeah.
I don't even get what that is, dude. I don't
That's
even see
just
what that is.
broken bone. That's
What's all that
healed up.
white shit on the top?
That's the bottom of his foot. So he's got it. He's doing this. He's like showing me like this.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
freaky. You look at it and you go, what the fuck, dude? You didn't go to a doctor?
Yeah.
He's like, nah, I just walked around on it. He's an animal, dude. That guy, he gets in the sauna at 200 degrees, 200 plus, and he gets on an air dye machine with oven mitts on. And he does fucking sprints in the sauna at like 200 degrees.
What does he do again? What's his?
He's a world champion surfer.
Oh shit.
Big wave
Okay.
surfer.
Damn, the scary shit.
The scary shit.
The shit from like Portugal.
Yeah, the scary shit.
yeah.
The scary shit.
Yeah.
He's an animal.
I can't believe people survive those waves.
Bro, they don't always. They don't always.
How often does a surfer die?
All the time. When
All
those
the
things
time?
come, yeah, man. When those things come crashing down on you, you fucking plummet to the bottom with 1,000,000 pounds of water on top of you, and you get knocked unconscious. Happens all the time. Guys get driven by the weight of the water right into the
Yeah,
rocks.
I'm not into that at all.
I'm not into sharks.
Yeah.
Did you see that fucking lady that they found in a 13-foot alligator's mouth in Florida?
I saw the clip. I didn't see the clip. I saw the blurred out picture of it.
My sister sent it to me because it's down near where she lives. They fucking found some alligator just dragging a lady.
Yeah. How about that shark in Egypt that attacked that man?
Oh, that one's hard.
It seems like we're seeing more shark attacks. It seems like it's happening more often now,
People
right?
have better phones.
That's probably what it is. Huh?
Yeah. But that one, we haven't confirmed whether or not this is true, but what I had heard was that off the coast of this resort, these people were dumping sheep carcasses. So they had these sheep carcasses and they wanted to get rid of them, so they dumped them off the coast. That's what they would do with them. And then a high concentration of sharks would happen in that area. And there's a fucking resort there. So there's this really nice resort. People are like, oh, fucking, let's go for a swim. You're going for a swim in monster soup.
Yeah.
And they've been feeding those monsters.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just fucked that dude up.
Yeah. I'm not.
There's definitely stories of that happening. I don't know if it's the exact same area, but it might be. But
Sheep exports linked to Egypt shark attacks.
That's what,
from
13
2010.
years ago. Yeah, there's like a series of them.
So I bet that's. Yeah, why are dead sheep washing up on Egypt shores? That's from 2017. So 2010, and then again in 2017. Yeah, probably.
Yes, it's similar to what happened in Sharm el Sheikh.
Yeah, it says down there, 2022, animal carcass dropped into the sea near that place. Wow.
The travel agent noted that.
The travel agent. How about they give you a heads up? Hey, by the way, They dump a lot of bloody carcasses in that water.
Like, what are you
There's a lot
doing?
of sharks.
Like, all you need to do is see Jaws.
Yeah.
And that right there just scares you out the goddamn ocean.
Did you
Like,
see The Meg? It might be the dumbest movie of all time. And The Meg 2 is like, hold my beer.
Yeah,
The Meg 2, I watched The Meg 2 with my daughter.
Yeah.
The other day, we were howling, just howling, laughing. It's so goofy. This shark like tries to find people.
It works, though. It works because I will never go deep sea diving, ever. That's never going to fucking happen.
Yeah, I'm so not into
I ain't
that.
going into jungles, and I ain't going deep sea diving. I ain't doing it.
So not into
No anacondas for me, no crocodiles. I'll go up and I'll go to Aspen and go snowboarding. That's what I
Bro,
want to do.
I had Paul Rosalie on my podcast, and he's a dude that he spends a large amount of time saving the rainforest. Really fucking cool guy. He goes down to the Amazon, and he's like saving the rainforest from people that are cutting it down. And what he does is these loggers are just poor, man. You know, they're not trying to destroy the world. They don't have options, man. You know, they're poor. And so what he does is he gets them hired to protect the rainforest. So he gets the same people say, hey, man, this job, what's this job paying you? How about we give you more money and you protect the rainforest? And they're like, oh, thank you. So he hires these guys to do the opposite of what they were doing. And they've protected millions of acres of rainforest just doing this. But this dude, he told me he jumped on an anaconda because he was trying to, like, they were trying to find out how big it is. He couldn't get his arms around it. He's my size.
Yeah.
He couldn't get his arms around it. So he's my size. So imagine this. Imagine this. A snake that wide. He said it was at least 25 feet long. And it was slithering through the water. And he felt it slither and it's dark out. And he tried to hold on to it. So he tried to grab a hold of it like this.
I wish I had that kind of courage.
I don't know if that's courage.
I don't know, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Jungle scared the shit out of me, man. I like watching them on TV. I like watching Amazon River documentaries and Congo documentaries, but I will never go into another jungle in my life.
You know what my favorite thing is? When jaguars kill crocodiles.
That's pretty badass.
Crocodiles
They
think they're the
deserve
shit.
it. Yeah, they deserve it.
They think they're the shit.
They're always sneaking up on antelope. You know what I mean? Every now and then when a leopard fucking takes them out, it feels good.
Cats are number one. Cats are number one. They're my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're so ruthless. This fucking cat swimming through the water, eating crocodiles. And he's got there's many videos of this happening where people have caught them hunting crocodiles. But this one, this jaguar is carrying a crocodile bigger than him. He's got it by the back of its neck, and he's waddling out of the water with this fucking crocodile in his teeth. Like, who would have imagined that something would hunt crocodiles?
Yeah. Yeah. You think they'd have no predators?
The fucking cats in the Amazon, man, they're so big. Those jaguars are big, bro. They're big and they're so ruthless. He said he was sleeping in a hammock, and a jaguar came right up to his hammock and was like breathing in the hammock.
Dude, that's so good.
Right there. Right
Dude,
outside
you got
the
a
hammock.
good ass fucking lion or tiger.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by cats. I think that's the scariest way to die. Tigers are the scariest way. You've seen that one where the tiger leaps up and tries to get that guy where he's on top of the elephant?
Oh, yeah.
That's a
Fuck
classic.
that. What are you
That's a
doing
classic.
around tigers? The
That's a
fuck
classic.
out of here.
The fuck out of
the
here,
tigers.
man. Unless you have a fucking machine gun.
Yeah.
And you're just like, you can't have a stick. He's trying to get it off with a stick. Get out of here.
Yeah, fuck.
And he just ripped his hand apart. That guy got lucky.
Dude, that's the one thing about, the one good thing about living in a city is you're not going to die by witnessing animals eat you alive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Every animal in the wild, one day, you're going to witness animals eating you, and you're going to be alive, and you're going to watch it, right? And before that happens, you might have your siblings or your kids or your significant other. You're gonna watch. They're gonna get eaten alive.
My friend Jim Shockey.
That's the only thing cool about living in this fucking matrix is at least we're not gonna get eaten alive and witness it, because that's happening for sure in the
Everywhere.
wild. In the wild, they're
Yeah.
gonna get you. The insects are gonna get you, or the fucking some kind of cat is gonna get you, or a bear is gonna get you. You're gonna watch yourself get eaten alive.
Something's
That's
gonna get you.
terrifying, right?
My friend Jim Shockey, He's a professional hunter, and they hired him to go to Africa to kill these crocodiles because these people in this village were getting fucked up by crocodiles so much. And what these people would do is they would set up these areas where it was okay for them to wash and to gather water. So they would put like sticks in the ground, like block it off, like sticks in the water in the ground, so that the crocodiles couldn't get through, but they'd still figure out a way to get through. They knew it. Yeah, they figured it out. That. And he said when he was there, everybody in the village, it's like one guy's missing a foot, one guy's missing an arm, one guy's got a chunk taken out of his leg.
Yeah.
It's like everywhere you look, there was people with like a stump for a hand because they were washing and snap. Wah! It just fucking gator rolls and pulls your fucking hand off and you're running into the village with bone poking out of your forearm.
Yeah.
Bro.
Fuck the wild.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that, man. People hunt those.
Yeah.
They hunt those. This girl just killed one with a fucking bow. Like the largest crocodile that that a woman's ever killed with a bow. It's just insane. Here, I'll show it to you. Go to Bomar Bow Hunting on Instagram.
And can you cut it right there? I got to piss.
Because you got to piss again. This is hilarious. This is comical. Your dick's broken, bro. But you've been drinking.
Dude. Too much coffee, dude. Coffee and
beer and
coffee and beer. I'm gonna be pissing fucking all night.
I haven't had beer in forever. It feels good. It's hot out. I like a cold beer when it's hot out. A nice Lone Star. You think Bud Light's gonna bounce back?
I saw a lot of Bud Light commercials.
There's a video.
I saw Bud Light commercials during football.
Look at this. This girl killed this with a bow. Look at the size of that fucking crocodile. Good Lord.
Is it like an angle thing?
An angle thing?
Sometimes things look bigger than they are just from...
No. Look at the fucking tail on her shoulder.
Where did she shoot? Like, where do you got to get this?
I think she was in Tanzania.
You got to get in the neck or something.
That's a good question. I think you have to get it at the base of the brain. Does it say? It says quartering away about 40 yards. Deep breath, calm down, buried my pen right where the center of his lungs should be. Got him through the lungs.
You know that albino alligators are worth a lot in the leather industry. Did you know that? I just found that out. Yeah, because then you could dye it any color because it's albino and it's white.
Oh, interesting.
So you make the guys from Toehold, they get special white albino alligator to make alligator flip flops.
I wonder if they breed them. If they find like albinos and they try to breed them with other albinos. That makes sense because it's probably a recessive gene, right?
And could you breed them, or is it just like something that just pops up every now and then? It's
you
white?
Could if you like shoved them all together. Like fuck, you got to fuck somebody here. Go ahead. This is only like pale ones. I don't think they care. Do you think there's racist crocodiles? I don't like whitey. I'm not fucking that white bitch.
Dude, how about those people that like I just saw a video of like this family like taking pictures next to an alligator and one guy's like kind of holding it down and the mother's coming.
Oh,
God. Have you seen that?
Yeah, so it's something bad's about to happen.
Yeah, but the video, nothing bad happened. No, it did snap, but you don't know what happened. The guy who had the camera, he just dropped it, and you didn't see what happened, but it did turn around and snap. Like, what are you doing, man?
Show that video where that 14-foot or 13.6-foot alligator has this woman in his mouth in Florida.
That was just a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, man. They just found this thing walking across the ground with a fucking lady in his mouth. They will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And when you're in Florida, they're everywhere. One of them killed a kid at Disney World.
Yeah.
I was at Disney World, and I go, how often do you guys get alligators here? The guy looks at me and goes, all the time. I go, can't you stop them? He goes, you don't know when they're there. They find their way into the lakes, and you don't know they're there.
It's crazy that they're allowed to. I mean, they're needed, right, to clean up the swamps and stuff in Florida. Like they're needed, right? They're
getting killed. They're getting killed by pythons. There's somewhere in the neighborhood of there it is.
Can you see it? I see blood.
I think they've already taken the lady's body. That's the lady.
Damn.
That, no disrespect, but that looks like the kind of lady that might get eaten by a crocodile. Or an alligator. Fuck, man. Look at all the blood. Oh, that might actually be the alligator's blood. Who knows? They might have shot it already. Jesus. They identified her. There's one story about this dude. He stole a car, and there was cops are chasing him. He gets to a bridge, jumps off the bridge, lands on an alligator.
And that's it.
Drags him under. That's a wrap, son. And the cops are like, all right.
Fuck. In the wild, that's what you have to deal with. Yeah. Eventually, you're gonna get caught.
Well, the thing about Florida is, it's not just the wild. Florida, it's fucking golf courses. They have giant ones. You ever seen those videos of giant ones walking across golf courses?
Yep. And every now and then a kid goes missing.
Mm-hmm. All the time.
Scary, dude.
All the time.
What the fuck?
Yeah, they're everywhere. And you unless you're watching them 24/7, you don't know where they're going.
They're not in Southern California. I'll tell you that much.
No, they're not in Southern
You have alligators out here, or crocodiles?
They have alligators. They have alligators in South Texas.
Really? Like in lakes and stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in lakes. Yeah.
You know what I saw? I saw a video of a bunch of wild boars. Like there was 3 of them, and they had a bunch of babies, and they're just laying there on trash. They're like in some kind of landfill, and all these babies are just sucking on the tits, for milk, and they're just trash everywhere. And there's like 3 or 4 of them. It's like a swarm.
There's so many of them, man. There's millions of them in the state. Millions.
Wouldn't it make sense to they got to kill them, right?
They definitely do, but
gotta,
you can't keep up with them. They can start breeding when they're 6 months old.
But wouldn't it make sense to kill them for food and just have a bunch of food?
Oh, they definitely do that. My friend Jesse Griffiths, he runs this amazing restaurant in Austin called Dai Due, and he runs a school. What is it called? The Traditional School of Cookery? What is it called? Jesse's school. He runs a school where he teaches people how to hunt pigs, how to butcher them, and how to cook them, and he's a chef. So
and these are all wild boars.
Wild boars, yeah.
That seems like a pretty good business, right?
Great business,
yeah,
and also very smart. The new school of traditional cookery. And Jesse, I had a chance to hunt with him in December of last year, and we went to South Texas, real close to Mexico, and he was cooking for us. So we're in camp hunting deer, and he would cook for us. So you have this like world-class chef who's cooking these amazing meals, from these animals that you kill out there. So he's cooking like ducks and deer, and it's amazing, and wild pigs, wild boars.
What does a wild boar taste like? Chicken?
No. It tastes like pork. It tastes like really good pork. It actually is better than regular pork.
Yeah, you think that's the problem. That solves the problem, right?
Yeah. It's a darker meat. It's darker, because they're just, they're so invasive. There's millions and millions of them in the state.
And just in Texas, or they're all over the South?
They're all over the South.
All over.
They're all over everywhere now. They're in California. I've hunted them in California. I hunted them at Tejon Ranch. I've
Where's Tejon Ranch at?
It's like Bakersfield.
Okay.
Out there. It's 270,000 acres. It's the biggest private ranch in California. I hunted there with Steve Ranella. I shot one with a rifle, and it was this big pig, man. We roasted it, and it's delicious. It had been eating acorns. It was real fat. It was so good. It's like a delicious fucking meat, man. People frown upon them because they think they're nasty and stinky because they eat everything, but if you clean them up and you cook them correctly, they're delicious. And Jesse's a master at that. But it's a good animal to hunt because they have to hunt them.
Yeah.
They have so many of them. They're overrun. There's fucking millions of them.
And what's the number one thing they destroy?
Crops.
Like what? Like all
everything,
crops? Anything?
Everything.
Doesn't matter.
Everything. They go into the ground. They fuck the ground up and just destroy the crops. They eat everything.
And fences don't keep them out? They go right through fences?
They go under fences. They go around fences. They find their way, man. They're fucking really resilient. They're tough as shit. They have like a thick coating on the outside of their chest. Like all around here is like this thick of like this, like it's an armored plate that they have all around so they could fight with each other because they all have tusks. And so they've evolved to develop this like very thick fucking armored plate all around like their neck and this area.
Huh.
Yeah, they're fucking gnarly animals.
You know what's scary too is the video footage like in Africa of like in landfills, and they're just filled with baboons and shit.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Baboons are crazy.
Dude.
That's like a dog and a monkey combination.
Yeah, and they actually train dogs to take care of their young.
Yes, isn't
How
that wild?
crazy is that?
Yeah, they train dogs. Yeah. Yeah, they have dogs in their camp to alert them to predators.
Dude, look,
Yeah.
dude, this is a fucking that's
Insane.
like insane, dude.
Insane.
What the fuck?
Imagine being a guy that's fucking there and you gotta like clean up these landfills and these fucking baboons are everywhere.
Yeah, imagine if you live by that.
They're such a weird looking animal too. They got that long wolf-like face and they got.
You would think they would go after humans.
They do sometimes. They steal babies. There's been a bunch of instances of baboons stealing people's babies and killing them and eating them. Snatch your baby from you and run away with it.
Man, what if they snatch it and raise it?
I don't think they would. They'd eat that thing. It's too
Dude,
much work to
That's
raise
some
a
scary
baby.
shit, dude.
You don't have to raise a
Living near swarms of baboons, you want to live as far away as that shit as possible.
Yeah.
Like, what do they deal with on a
Yeah.
daily basis?
What
Like,
do they?
how do you? I mean, because these things are coming in, and I'm sure if they're not just straight up attacking, which would be smart for them, because like coyotes and possums, they live with us, and we don't fuck with them because they don't fuck with us.
Right.
It's almost like they know. As long as when you see a human, just run from them. If you stay and attack, we're gonna get exterminated. It's almost like they know that instinctively, right?
Yeah, it is almost like they know it instinctively.
Yeah,
They're very intelligent.
Yeah, we got dude.
They're
We got
intelligent like a monkey.
I got coyotes all over me,
Yeah.
and possums, and those things look fucking scary.
Possums aren't scary though, but they do carry diseases, like serious diseases.
They look scary. They look like giant rats.
The coyotes, man, they're fucking clever. They're so clever.
And they're clever enough to know not to fuck with humans, because if they did, they'll take a dog, they'll take a little chihuahua and eat that motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
But if they started attacking, when they attack one child, they're just going to go in. There's going to be an extermination process.
Well, there was
going
one
on.
recently that attacked a kid, and there's a video of it. This
Really?
guy, this guy's like he set his kid down like his young baby. His kid was like 2 years old, and he sets his kid down. He's taking some things out of his car, and the baby starts screaming. A fucking coyote's dragging the baby away.
Did he get the baby back?
Yeah, he screamed and ran after it, and the kid's crying. It's horrible.
Have you seen those videos of cats defending babies and kids?
Yes,
That's
yes.
some cool shit.
Yeah,
That's
man.
some cool shit. There was this one video where a baby gets out of his little crib or something and is about to like fall down the stairs, and a cat just fucking jumps in front of him and pushes him back.
Yeah,
That's some crazy shit.
that is
That's
crazy.
super intelligent right there.
Well, yeah, that's family.
And there was another video where it was like in a front yard, and some dog went after a kid, and a cat came out of nowhere.
yeah, and
scared-
fucked up the dog. Yeah.
That's some beautiful shit right there.
That is
man.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You got a pet that will help you.
You would think the cats wouldn't do shit. You know, you would think that they
Yeah.
wouldn't do shit, but probably most of them won't do shit to protect their.
Well, they think of that baby as like a part of their family. That's like they would
Well,
do
right
the
there. Look
same-
at that. Look at that. Dude,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at that.
crazy.
Look at that. Whoa.
It's like
Just
yeah,
save that baby.
sit
How
down,
does
baby.
how does this like how
It just
smart is this
knows.
cat?
They're smart. I mean, they think of a baby as like part of their family. You know?
Or they could be thinking, okay, the mother of this baby is my provider. I gotta protect everything.
I
you
don't
know?
think they think like that. I think they think that that's like one of their family. I think that's what they
Yeah,
think. I'm just
yeah,
guessing.
yeah.
Did I ever tell you when a coyote honeypotted my dog Johnny? Remember Johnny Cash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Johnny Cash, which was
The
after
giant
Frank?
mastiff. The
Oh,
mastiff.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So we had chickens, right? And chickens, they brood. And what a brood is like sometimes chickens, when there's no rooster, they're convinced, like chickens lay eggs every day, pretty much. And they don't turn into chicks because there's no rooster to fertilize the egg, right? Rooster fucks the hen lays an egg, that egg's viable, it becomes a chick.
Yeah.
But the chickens don't know that. So sometimes they get it in their head that this egg is going to be a baby. And so they pluck their own feathers out and they sit on this egg. If you come near them, they peck at you and they're brooding. And they won't lay an egg for a long time. And to get them out of the brooding, what you have to do is you have to take them from their big chicken coop, and then you have to put them in a small chicken coop where they have to hold onto a railing. So they can't sit down on the ground and brood, and there's no egg in there. So they have to sit on this railing and hold. If you keep them there for a few days, they snap out of it. Then you put them back in the chicken coop. Well, this fucking coyote was so smart that it became friends with Johnny. And Johnny was like this giant dog. He was fucking huge. He was 140 pounds, this big old fucking head. And this other chicken coop was small. So we had the big chicken coop that was protected from coyotes and such. And then the small chicken coop that you would put the brooders in. And so somehow or another, this coyote became friends with Johnny. And the pool guy fucked up and he left the gate open. So the gate was open to where the chicken coop was. And the coyote convinced Johnny to destroy this little chicken coop. And so, like, he couldn't do it. He was too little. The coyote's like 30 pounds, but Johnny's like $140. And the coyote couldn't eat Johnny because he was huge. But he thought this coyote was his friend. And so I'm sitting there, we're playing some kind of game. I forget what we're playing, Monopoly or some shit. And we're looking out the window, and I see a fucking coyote running through the backyard with a chicken in his mouth. And he hops on top of, bro, we had like a 6-foot fence. This coyote jumped to the top of that fence like an acrobat. Put his paws, his 2 front paws, and then his back paws with a chicken in his mouth and sprung over the fence. I was like, motherfucker. And we ran outside. I'm like, how did this fucking coyote get a hold of the chicken? How'd this happen? And then I went over to where the chicken coop was, and there's Johnny just sitting here with this destroyed chicken coop looking at me like, what did I do? And I was like, what the fuck did you do, man? He destroyed the chicken coop. The coyote convinced him to get into that chicken coop because it couldn't do it. So he tore the chicken coop apart, and the coyote's like, thank you, snatch, see ya, pew.
Yo, that's crazy.
Crazy. But then Johnny got a taste of chickens. He decided that, oh, well, I should kill chickens too. And Johnny was huge. So another time, someone else left the fucking fence open, and Johnny just went through the chicken coop, the big one, because he was so big. He just fucking tore it apart. And he killed 9 chickens. And by the time I got to him, like, we looked out the window. I was like, why is Johnny in the chicken coop? Fuck! And we ran outside, and he had torn a hole in the chicken coop and just went ham. So we had like 19 chickens left, and he killed 9 of them.
Fuck.
And there's a few that were still alive that were fucked up. Like big old fucking puncture wounds in them and shit, where he was just shaking them. And then he would
And
go
whatever
on to the
happened
next
to
one.
Johnny Cash?
He died.
Of
He got
old age?
Yeah. It was sad.
How long ago was that?
Quite a while ago. He was 13. It was real sad.
It was like 10 years ago?
It was real. At the end, man, he couldn't even walk. I used to have to carry him outside, and then he would go to the bathroom, and then I'd carry him to his food. It was sad.
Yeah.
It was so sad.
That's how one of my cats got cancer, and man, you just watch him die slowly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Do you know a lot of dogs and cats get cancer from dog food? Like the kind of food like dry kibble, you know, not all of it, I don't want to disparage all of it, but a lot of dry kibble is just not good for them.
Yeah.
Well, I switched Marshall to this frozen food. It's raw frozen food. And dude, it changed his health so much. He lost body fat, he gained energy, he looks better. It's like, it just makes sense. It's like meat, it's frozen meat and potatoes and like green beans and shit, and he fucking loves it. He serve it to them frozen. You just pour it in, you scoop it out, serve it in their bowl, and he fucking goes nuts for it. But it's like changed his health. And I was kind of embarrassed that I didn't do that early. There's a couple of companies that do that. Like there's like Farmer's Dog that's really good. There's a bunch of different companies that have real food. It's real food. It's like human grade food that you serve to your dogs. So like, yeah, of course. Of course. You ever eat a piece of fucking dog kibble? It tastes so bland and such bullshit. It's just filler, and who knows, not all of them. Again, so I'm sure some of them are good. But a lot of them, it's just like, what's in there? What the fuck is in there?
Yeah. Especially when I was growing up, we would get a gigantic bag of plain wrapped dog food.
Yeah. Like generic dog food. cheap
Generic,
as shit.
giant fucking sack,
Yeah.
dude.
It keeps them alive,
Yeah.
but it's not, they don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I started serving him elk meat. So what I would do is I would get some of the elk that I would kill. I would get it ground. I'd get it ground up, and then I would give him like a chunk of that in his food.
I was going to ask you that. I was like, give him the stuff you hunt.
Yeah, and I was like, this is so much better for him. Like, he loved it. But this is like balanced. Like, it's balanced. It's like cubed beef. Like, it's like little, I mean, you look at it, it's fresh. It's just fresh frozen, little cubes of beef and like green beans and blueberries and shit. And dude, it's changed him. Like, he's like thin now. He lost 10 pounds. He was like 86 pounds. Now he's like 75 pounds. He looks fucking great. He's got so much energy. It's just like he was developing all this body fat. And it's like just processed food, man. It's just like humans. If you gave a human cereal every day, they're going to look like shit. You know, it's just not good for them.
Yeah. Most disease, I'm sure, is caused by what we put in our mouths.
Yeah, a lot of it. A lot of it is bad food and then environmental factors, right? I was reading about this thing where dudes who cut countertops in California, there's a lot of guys who are dying from an incurable respiratory disease. Guys who do construction work and they're cutting countertops.
Yeah.
Apparently see if you can find that. Some of these countertops, it's fucking, they're inhaling toxic fumes when they saw this shit.
Yeah.
You know, and this fucking young guy had like a oxygen tank. Here it is. California workers who cut countertops are dying of an incurable disease. Fuck, man. Industrial stretch of Pacoima, man labored over hefty slabs of speckled stone, saws whining over sounds of Spanish language rock. Pale dust rose around them as they worked. Many went without masks. Some had water spurting from their machines, but others had nothing to tamp down the powder rising in the air. Nobody uses water, one man in a Dodgers cap said in Spanish when Maria Cabrera approached, holding flyers about silicosis, an incurable and suffocating disease that has devastated dozens of workers across the state and killed men who have barely reached middle age. Fuck, man. Imagine that, man. You just got a fucking job and it just kills you.
I worked at a place for 2 weeks that bulletproofed cars. And for diplomats and for like check cashing mobile vans, you know, just bulletproof it. And basically all it is you take apart, you put slabs of fiberglass in the doors. You know, so the doors are just filled with sheets of fiberglass. So you have to cut the fiberglass to fit the door. And when you cut it, when you're like sawing it, there's all this fiberglass dust particles all over it. Fiberglass dust everywhere. I remember thinking, fuck this. I was 18 or 19 when I did that. And you had face masks and everything, like those N95s or whatever. But I remember thinking, this fucking can't be good. Lasted 2 weeks. I had enough of that shit.
I did construction, and I laid fiberglass in people's basements and then the easements and then
Did you cut
attics.
fiberglass pieces and stuff?
I cut that shit with razor knives, with like X-Acto knives. You cut it and then place it in place. I was always itchy. And you're sweating because it's the summertime in Boston. Yeah. So it's fucking 90 degrees outside and it's all humid and you're in this attic and you're just breathing that shit. And we didn't wear masks. We didn't have nothing. And I was thinking, what the fuck am I doing in here?
Yeah.
And you're always itchy. Like it just would get in your pores and fuck, man. Dude, growing up, because my stepdad's an architect, I got a lot of jobs on construction sites. And man, did I learn about fucking work, like real work, like hard work, like labor work. And that taught me that I don't want to do that.
Oh, yeah. I went through the same thing.
I don't want to do that.
No.
I don't want to
I roofed for a week. I'm like, no, I ain't roofing. No. I don't want to sweat while I work.
This was why I was still fighting. So I would do that all day, and then I would try to go to the gym at night, and I would be hitting the bag, and I was so tired. I was stupid back then. I didn't drink water. I was totally dehydrated. I was eating sub sandwiches. It was a soda pop for lunch.
Yeah.
I didn't take vitamins.
Doritos.
Yeah. And then I'd go and try to work out, and I'd be like, I had nothing. And I remember thinking, oh my God, I have to quit. I can't do this. I have to figure out another job. That's when I started teaching. I was like, I have to. And then I was teaching and delivering newspapers. I was like, I'd rather be poor.
Have you gotten into, you're fasting now, right?
I do intermittent fasting. Yeah.
You don't eat breakfast?
I very rarely eat breakfast.
Yeah, me too, man.
I usually eat my first meal after I work out, which is usually around like noonish.
Huge. Working out on an empty stomach. Dude,
You were telling me about that.
Yeah, that changed my
Oh, that's
fucking
right. Yeah,
life.
you were telling me about that.
Yeah, it's huge, man.
What's changed my life is eliminating most carbs and this carnivore diet. That's changed my life. Changed everything.
So you wake up a cup of, because you could have a cup of black coffee.
Yeah, I'll
right,
have coffee. Yeah.
And
I'll
then
have-
you
I
won't-
drink black coffee anyway. I don't put anything in my coffee.
And you wait till what time to eat?
Noonish.
Noonish?
Yeah,
You ever
so-
go like 4 or 5-ish?
Yes. Yeah, sometimes I come straight here and I don't even eat. The thing about when you eat only meat too, you don't really get hungry the same way because you don't have that carb craving that you get, you know?
Yeah.
So what I do is first thing in the morning I get in the cold water. That's my first thing.
Really?
Before I work out. I just get in that. Sometimes I'll have a cup of coffee first, say goodbye to my kids, send them off to school, kiss my wife, and go, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. And then I fucking suffer. Then I get in that fucking cold water for 3 minutes every morning. Every fucking morning. It's a game changer, son. Game changer.
That's a tough one, man. That's a tough one.
I don't like it, but I love how I feel when I get out of there. I get out of there, I'm like, whoa! Ah! And then I do like a series of body weight exercises to warm up. I do 100 push-ups, 100 body weight squats, and then I start my workout.
Nice.
Yeah.
Before I started working out on an empty stomach, I would, in between, like whatever, like if I was doing bench, in between the sets, I'd be like on my phone doing emails or whatever.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't do shit for like 2-3 minutes, and then I'd do the next set. And then I would see other people doing sets, and they were doing sets in between their sets. Like they would just jump and start doing body weight squats and shrugs or some like other shit in between what they're doing. I'm like, whoa, I could never do that. I'm like, I didn't have the, and I thought back then I was working out on an empty stomach because I would have like a little protein bar and a little shake and some vitamins. I thought that was an empty stomach. That's not an empty stomach. Your body still is expending energy trying to deal with that shit in your stomach.
For sure.
So if you don't, if you ate a tremendous meal, pasta, bread, you just stuffed yourself, and then you try to work out, that would zap like, what, 80% of your energy?
You'd be wrecked.
Like 80, 70%. So, a little bar and a little shake and some vitamins, maybe it's not 80%, but it's like 10%, 15%, and that makes a difference. So once I started, and you know what's crazy? I heard it from people. Like I heard it from GSP. I heard it from a football player, DK Metcalf. All day, doesn't eat. Maybe he eats like some like candy, so little Skittles just to get like a sugar rush or something. But it's one meal a day. And then when I heard it from Mikey Musumeci, I'm like, you know what? Let me try this shit. And man, my workouts, dude, I'm doing body weight squats because I can't do weighted squats because of the metal in my back.
Mm-hmm.
I can't put any weight on my shoulders.
Is that the case with your disc replacement? How's that doing? How is that?
When I went in there originally 6 years ago, the doctor said, okay, both your L5 and L4 are fucked. Your L5 is worse. That one needs to be replaced right away.
You had no disc. You were basically
not on the
bone
L5.
bone.
Yeah. But the one above it was looking like shit too. So he said, you want to do both of them right now? If you don't, you're going to have to come back in like 5-6 years and do the one above
Why didn't you do both of them?
Because people were telling me, don't ever do shit that you don't need. I was hearing that because I was like, because it was a game time decision. I didn't have to make the decision until right when they laid me on the table and they said, the doctor said, so what do you want to do? Because I had choices. I could have went fusion because I was barely qualified for a disc replacement. Barely.
It was that fucked up.
Yeah, they're going, dude, because you have to, your spine has to be a certain way for disc replacement to work. So you have to like qualify it for it. And so the doctor said, you can do disc replacement, but you're right on the cusp. And he goes, so we could do this. We could do fusion, which boxes it up, the L5. We could do one fusion. We could do two fusions. We could do one disc. We can do two discs. Or we could do one fusion and one disc, whatever you want to do. Or you could just do one disc, come back.
Leave it up to you?
He left it up to me.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. So I decided, let's go just one disc, and I'll come back 5 or 6 years. And it's been 5-6 years. So my back has been like super stiff, sore. It got really fucked up exactly a year ago. Remember, I did your podcast like last September, and dude, that whole weekend I could barely put my shoes on. It was really, really bad. And then I heard about the guy that fixed Dave Grogan's back. Is that his name?
David Goggins.
David
Yeah.
Goggins, that guy. He mentions a guy that fixed his back, and his name is Joe Hippensteel. And one of my students works for him, and he goes, "Man, we could fix." It was a woman. She goes, "We could fix your back." I go, "I got metal in my back. Nothing's gonna fix my back. I'm gonna need surgery again." And this is about like 6 months ago, and she said, "Just come and talk to Joe. I'll set up an appointment. Talk to Joe. He fixed Dave Groggins." And
Goggins.
Goggins. God, why do I say Groggins? Goggins. And I said, okay. So I set up an appointment. You know, he's in San Diego. I met him. He's like a former, like a Olympic level decathlete, and he figured out what's wrong with most injuries is his whole system is my back. The pain I'm getting is my lower back muscles are locked. They're literally locked. That's why you're stiff and you can't move and it's sore. He goes, you have to know how to unlock the muscles, and people don't know how to unlock them. So his style of stretching unlocks the muscle. It takes about an hour and a half to do his stretching routine, but it's all on a timer. You do a 2-minute stretch here, 1 minute rest, don't do nothing, don't move. 2-minute stretch, 1 minute rest, don't do nothing. Because the general philosophy is you got to stretch. To unlock a muscle, you got to do it slowly. You can't get in there and start throwing elbows and fucking yanking and stretching, because that does nothing. That just makes it worse. You got to do a slow stretch. You do,
Relax.
and there can't be any pain. So there's these certain stretches for your lower back. There's 5 of them just for your lower back. There's a bunch. There's like 27 total, but for your lower back, there's 5. And you do them, and you're on a clock.
Did you go to him to talk
I went
to
to
him?
him and I did it all. I'm in the middle of it. I'm doing it, dude. My back feels like 80% better.
Really?
Yes, it's all about unlocking your muscles.
Go to this guy's website.
Joe Hippensteel.
Wow.
Yeah. So he flies out every week to the Cleveland Browns. He's a Cleveland Browns physical therapist. Like he shows them all these stretches.
I'm gonna show you some shit.
He works with the San Diego Padres too. So I'm in the process of that, of fully unlocking my muscles. But, you know, your muscles have memory, so they always go back and they always relock. So every day I got to do these stretches.
I'm gonna show you some.
I'm
shit.
hoping I don't have to have surgery, and it looks like I'm headed to full recovery. It really looks like that.
I'm gonna show you something that Goggins just sent me. God, how do I save this? Cancel. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on a second. Save. Here it is. Okay.
He was just here a week ago. And
Goggins
I
was?
asked him- No.
Oh,
Joe
Hippensteel
was doing an event here a week ago.
Yeah, he does.
really?
He does seminars. He's He's so awesome, man. He spent like the whole afternoon with me. Didn't even charge me. That's him. He's got a way of stretching that no one else does. It's not yoga. Yoga is like just to get your blood moving. You know, if you want to unlock muscles, like he says, like when you have a shoulder injury, the pain is coming from your bicep locking. So you got to unlock your bicep. So that I'm no expert in his style, but I know a little about it, and it's working for me, man. It's working. What's the name? It's Ultimate
Human Performance.
That's it. Ultimate Human Performance. Joe Hippensteel in San Diego. Man, if you're thinking about getting surgery, you should look into this first.
That sounds amazing.
And the crazy thing is the stretching. There's not supposed to be any pain, so there is no pain. Everything has to be at when you get in a stretch, you have to get at 7. You don't want to get 8, 9, 10 pain. 7,
Don't
and
force
then
it.
exactly. You do it slowly. It's like cooking like a brisket. You do it slowly. You don't just nuke it.
Right.
You got to do it slowly. So the basic philosophy behind it is you stretch the muscle, and it stretches just a little bit, and then you rest for a minute, don't do nothing, you don't move, and you lay on your back. It's called the dead zone, and then it feels the muscles that got stretched, it fills with blood. And then you go back 2 more minutes, let's stretch it a little bit more, and then you rest for 1 minute, don't do nothing, dead zone. And then it fills with blood a little bit more, and then it's a slow.
And it's an hour and a half
slow,
every day?
about an hour and a half.
So you do it every day?
I try to. If I'm on the road, it's tough, but you can just do it on your bed. It's so easy. It's super easy. Just
I'll
do it
try
on the
that
bed.
shit.
Yeah.
So Goggins,
This
in his
is the
spare
guy.
time, his spare time,
Yeah.
he fire jumps. So this is a dude that's wealthy. Goggins has a lot of money.
How did he make his money?
He sold a book. His book, Can't Hurt Me, sold a shit. Give me some volume. So, give me some volume. Why isn't it playing? Why isn't it having any volume? Anyway, so he fire jumps into this area, and look at these grizzly bear tracks. So what he does is he fire jumps for the challenge. He doesn't fire jump for money. Like most of these guys are fire jumping, they pay you to do it, so you do it. He does it just because it's fucking hard to do. And so he sends me this video of these fucking giant bear tracks. He's a size 12 foot. Look, he's putting it right next to his bear track. So he sends me this video, and I go, oh my God. I go, don't get eaten, brother. And he goes, fuck it. Here it is. Okay.
Those woods, so we'll probably have an overnight partner here. See these grizzly bear prints, man? Look at these motherfuckers, dude. They're as big as my foot. They're fucking huge. This is a massive fucking grizzly bear. Massive fucking grizzly bear. Look at this shit. Even how wide it is. This is fucking a massive ass grizzly bear. And as you see, he walks right through there, through those woods. So we are in big time grizzly bear territory.
So I sent him a text message.
Holy shit.
I said, don't get eaten, brother. He goes, fuck it. Stay hard, brother. If you see me fighting a bear, help the bear. Look what he sends me.
Hilarious.
And then he writes Goggins with like 10 exclamation points.
That's crazy.
Ah!
Hey, dude, I got to catch a flight.
Let's let it go.
Oh,
Let's
we,
wrap it
what have
up.
we done, 3 hours?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
We did enough.
Thank you.
I love you to
man.
death,
I love you
brother.
too, man. I'm on Rockfin. That's where I get all conspiratorial.
Yeah, and,
Rockfin.com/Eddie Bravo.
Instagram.
10 Eddie Bravo 10P. Combat Jiu-Jitsu on UFC Fight Pass.
Don't
Check
miss
it.
it. Combat Jiu-Jitsu is amazing. All right, we're done.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.